Hello and welcome to Black Winter Nights here on the D20 Multiverse with myself, Oliver Dungeon Master, and my lovely players, the Black Winter Knights. That's right, they're here as well. You may notice that guest player Alexander Sparrow is back playing Hygun Blackhammer. Thank you very much. He's actually got a show on tonight, starting in a few hours. It's called Sing It Wrong if you're in Wellington. Come
along.
But watch us on your phone whilst you're there. But don't interrupt the show on your phone. Quietly watch on your phone whilst there, listening to him and us. Forget it. Anyway, he's going to join us for the next hour or so before he goes away to perform in a big show. But he wanted to play, and I was like, hell yeah, come back and play.
Yes, and I'm going to give the signal.
Yes.
You'll know when it's the signal.
Yeah,
to say when I have to go. So.
Yeah, so be on the lookout for that.
Ollie, I'm leaving.
It's not the most elegant signal, but it works. We'd like to give a shout out to our new followers, obviously, as we do every episode of Black Winter Nights and Eyes of Elisia. R1D3. It's like R2.
Yeah.
That was good. Boz the Pro. Alright, that's cool. Tall Poppy Syndrome, that's fine, that's good, it's alright. Year Zero Palak. I feel like that's a word that I don't know, but hey, Year Zero is nice. The Cube Zero, good movie.
Pollock?
Possibly Jackson Pollock, but it's only got one L.
No, like Polish.
Learn something new every day here on the D20 Multiverse.
Polish but derogatory.
It's a horrible racial slur.
Yeah, it's a horrible racial slur.
Is it?
Good job whoever did that, you tripped all over the site.
I thought that was like Jackson Pollock or something.
It'll be online forever, so don't worry, it's going to be fine.
Thanks. And someone whose username is mainly just consonants, Serinawal.
Ah, beautiful. Welsh.
Monk Wolfgang and Talk McPherson. Those are our lovely new followers. Thank you guys so much. We'd also like...
Ollie,
yeah?
was it meant to start recording and streaming at the same time?
No, it should do that automatically.
Okay, it says start streaming and then start recording above it.
Yeah, no, just start streaming.
Okay,
yeah.
cool. Okay.
Yeah, thank you guys. We'd also like to thank our lovely Leonard, who a couple of days ago donated $100 to our channel. So thank you, Leonard. The guy that single-handedly paid for the battle camera, almost. It was like mostly his donations. You're a legend, Leonard, and we love you here on the D20 Multiverse. That goes a long way towards getting the mic and cameras that we are borrowing replaced with our own. And we might even get a dedicated streaming computer soon, so we don't have to use Dave's, who has to haul this thing up here twice a week. And today I had to do Dave's job of setting up the cameras. My God, I now understand why he just sits there swearing under his breath and is unable to converse with people, because it's a lot harder than it looks. Anyway, that is all the preliminary stuff. Let's get into tonight's episode of Black Winter Nights. So, when the party found themselves last in the Mages Guild in the City of Perfect Gold, newly named by King Argon, the Zook Institute, in fact set up by Orthanc, your other character, Gad Zook, who was a gnome tinkerer, mage type person. Anyway, he had discovered the reason that it was so difficult to locate Nemesis the Dragon Rider, king of the Five Lords of Violence, was that he had been residing within a pocket dimension of his own creation, in between the prime material planes. The party was invited by Zook to, through the use of a magic orb of his construction, teleport themselves into this pocket dimension and face the fearsome force that was Nemesis. However, there were no guarantees made as to where the party would land within this dimension. In fact, two members of the party, Orthanc and Gorstag, ended up, let's just say, somewhere else. However, the rest of the party, including Hygun Blackhammer, along for the ride as a dwarven miner from Kyvern Mines in the east of Ukast. Currently battling with the decision of what to do with the new spoils from the recent takings of the mine, had decided in self-sacrifice and homage to maybe the gods, maybe just his own glory, to fight alongside the party as quite a powerful fighter himself, battle axe in hand, also teleported himself to the pocket dimension. That is where we begin tonight's episode. In fact, we begin with Orthanc and Gorstag. The last thing you remember before your vision and reality was ripped from around you was reaching out simultaneously with the members of your party to touch. Can you hand me the orb, please? It's on top of the drum.
On top of the drum, behind the Christmas classics.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, right then.
I really don't need the prop, but I bought it on eBay, so I'm going to use it. Anyway, after the party had, in unison, reached out to grab the floating black orb constructed by Zook, Your vision and reality torn around you as you started tumbling, your form shifting, your vision fading, different realities splattering themselves across your field and consciousness. The feeling of vertigo mixed with maybe a plane falling out of the sky whilst on a roller coaster whilst being drunk. And eventually, you'd seen the shimmering forms of your party members who were being pulled by this orb and its power towards the dimension where you're supposed to be landing. However, through this horrible storm that is raging within this dimension known as the Eternity Storm, as your physical form drifted through the barrier between realities, the lightning that was ensuing chaos around you had hit both yourselves, and away you spiral from the party. The last thing you remember before you awake on the cold floor is seeing your party members vanish into a tunnel of vision. And boom! I need you both to start with a dexterity saving throw.
6.
16.
Orthanc, 3-point landing. Gorstag, boom, face down. As you awake, the Gorstag, the mud on your face, and Orthanc, the smile on yours, you manage to get a glimpse of what's around you. The first thing you notice is the massive swarm of black and grey clouds above you, and the cracking, thunderous roar of lightning as it hits very frequently. And one or two things you notice coming from the storm: live snakes dropping, hitting the ground, and slithering away. The sky itself is in constant shift behind this. It's muted greys and muted blues. The smell in the air of fire. As you turn to the south, you can now see the volcano. In fact, the very same that you had battled the Lava Lord or Artillion within, half transposed through this reality. Half of this volcano exists with a digital flickering around the outlines of this thing. You can see thick plumes of lava and smoke travelling down. As you pull yourselves to your feet, within a fabrication of nightmare, in fact, the most terrible of envisioned realities, this grotesque abomination of a place, you see clearly two what look like a frenzied large obelisk. Can you both roll perception, please?
17. Perception, it is a 10.
10. Okay, Orthanc, your keen half-orc eyes immediately recognize the sounds of danger, and you go into scanning and calculating mode. You find that you're quite close to the obelisk in the center of this place, and clear as day, about halfway up this obelisk, this horrible gnarled hand of black onyx crafted itself into the tower. In the palm of that hand, a grand cage. In the cage itself, Nemesi's mount, the Dragolich, plumes of like white and blue fire erupt from the cage as he wrestles against his restraints. However, at this point, the only thing you notice is two frenzied humans running at full speed, shouting, "Intruders! Intruders!" running straight towards the gates that you find yourself next to. What are you guys doing?
So they're running towards us?
They're running straight into the door, which is maybe about 30 feet around from where you're currently standing, that enters the grand obelisk in the centre of this dimension.
Right, so we're outside and they're running inside. Okay.
Exactly.
So we follow Dain, go touch the pony?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. So, these two berserkers run to the front gates and heavy as hell start pounding on the front door. You guys can kind of see this from about 30 feet away. Intruders! Intruders! After some time, it opens and they're led inside and the door slams shut behind them.
I wonder where these intruders could have come from, and if they might be our friends. Also being rained on by fucking snakes!
Yeah.
What is this?
What the fuck? Yeah, that's probably... Presumably they're running from where the intruders were, right?
They're running to alert someone.
So they're running to alert someone, but they'll be running from where the intruders were. So if we want to find the intruders ourselves, we should go in that direction.
Genius. Lead the way.
Okay, Orthanc and Gorstag turn your way towards where you saw the two people running from. In fact, the first thing that you see is a grand cart made of iron being pushed through a door of fire. In fact, what is known as the Grim Gate that outlines the obelisk itself. And within this maybe fairly large metal cart being pushed through, You see the rest of your party, these wonderful people, inside this cart. They are pushed from one side to the other, and as they are, you will remember from last session, take a bit of fire damage. However, as you enter the other side, you guys have all now, once again, caught up.
Are you alright in there?
It's a wee bit hot.
Yeah, I'm okay.
Who's pushing the cart? Or what's pushing the cart?
I do believe it was Hygun
You did
Blackhammer.
like a running jump sort of thing to get into it.
I pushed it pretty hard. We made it through the gate.
I think I fell unconscious during that. I don't remember anything.
Sure as day, as you guys have this brief conversation, you hear the sounds of another patrol coming from the east.
We did see 2 people running around. I think they've already warned the inside of our presence, so we need to move quickly.
What if we go warn the inside of our presence?
Elaborate?
Well...
Breach and clear, or?
Yeah, well, the door's right there, right?
Correct.
How'd they get past the doors?
They knocked on the door,
They
someone
just
opened
knocked?
I think the password is intruders.
Shall we try?
Screaming and banging work.
Yeah,
as well.
screaming.
Right. I feel the dwarf would be the best at this.
Yeah.
But if we all join in,
Yeah.
I'm sure the cacophony will get them to sort of open the door in a confusing manner.
Do you want me to smash on the gate?
Yeah, just knock on the gate. Not the fire one.
Thank you. That's what I was worried about. Watch out for the fire.
Not the fire one. No. The other door. There's a door past the gate. Yeah.
Were any of those gems nearby? Can we see any of those? Or, no?
Seemingly those also have travelled into the obelisk.
Oh, into the obelisk. Is there any carts carrying gems by any chance nearby us?
No.
Don't want to die. Might as well grab some diamonds.
Are the snakes just like raining down everywhere?
No, occasionally a snake falls. The lightning, however, is a lot more frequent. Hitting the ground with dust kind of scattered, and the ground fused as some kind of like caked mud where it's struck.
Alright, I'm gonna grab a nearby snake and say, I'll make a distraction. Quick, go get the door.
Alright. Might as well follow.
Okay, Orthanc. Roll some animal handling to see just how well you can pick up this thing.
Okay. Oh boy, this is gonna be great. 9.
Okay, make a dexterity saving throw.
17.
Okay, you take half damage, so 1 point of piercing as the snake, as soon as you approach. Keep in mind, this snake has just fallen from the sky. It's not exactly in a generous mood. It just nips at you and just clips you on the hand as you go to pick it up.
Fuck, once it bites me, like, come here, you little shit.
Roll straight strength.
Okay. Modified 20.
Yeah, fantastic. Alright, at this time you're just going to grip from the head and the tail, and you pick it up. You've now got a live snake in your hands.
Sick. I'm just going to be quick to throw it as soon as someone comes around the corner.
And sure enough, into a patrol of 2, these huge hulking humans with crude but large efficient weapons just come running around in the circle of the gates outside, just frenzied, not paying too much attention to anything other than what's right in front of them.
Get the door, get the door, get the door.
Alright.
Knock.
Okay. Hygun Blackhammer pounds on the doors to the great obelisk. As you do, the berserkers are getting close. You can hear their footfalls coming around. They'll be on you soon. But just before they round the corner, the doors open, and this robed individual with long, wizened beard, black beard, and smudges on his face. It looks like he's just been tinkering or something. But grand sword in his hand just opens the door and stares at you.
As soon as I see the door open, I'm gonna step out, throw the snake and go, you lost this! And then just fucking run back towards the door.
Okay. So you're throwing the snake at the person that opened the door?
No. Sorry,
At the
I meant to
berserk.
say you drop this, and I'm doing that around the corner at the berserkers that are running through,
Okay.
and then sprinting to the door.
Okay, fantastic.
I'd like to shove the door that's been opened to try and push it further open.
Okay, roll some strength. Straight contestants. DC 8.
That's actually not going to do it because it's a really fucking bad roll.
Okay, this guy, he's got one arm on the door, and even though he's an older gentleman, his strength is not failing. He pushes against and pulls out a sword and
Can we
strength points.
Can we tell which race he is?
He looks human, but elderly human. Still looks like he can fight. However, at this point, you forgot this as the snake goes flying. Make a dexterity check to see just how well you can throw this.
Okay. That's a modified 10.
Okay, that's alright, it's not that hard of a DC. You pick something up and you throw it, something down. When the snake, almost in slow motion, they see it, coming towards them. cut it midway in the air in half. Bits of snake either side, and then they just keep running.
Can I try to bribe the guy at the door?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah.
Roll some strength.
20?
Yeah. Add your strength modifier.
Oh, fucking hell, natural 20.
20.
Oh,
27.
nat 20. Okay, if you ever roll like a 20 or a 1, just say nat 20 or nat 1.
Nat 20.
All right, there you go. And before he can even finish the sentence, the kick of Hygun just boom, blasts him back as the door swings on its hinges. In the inside of this room, the old man falls on his back, rolls over. He's now like 20 feet inside the building. The door is open.
Quick, get inside! That's pretty brutal for a bribe.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I said bribe, but that's okay. I bet the shit out of him instead. I'll go with that.
I said bribe. Bribe, that works as well. He hits the floor.
Just throw him a couple of coins in the meantime.
Confused, he grabs them and watches the rest of you kind of enter. As you do, and the door closes behind you just as the berserkers, distracted enough by the snake not to see you enter, or at least not to see you and calculate fully who you are. You now hear their footfalls disappearing around the other side of the wall.
Can we barricade the door?
Yeah, is there a lock to the door?
There sure is.
No, but
Oh no, wait. I will use the key of ice.
Okay.
On the door.
So, Zeed just rummages in his cloak and pulls out this small, unassuming key. As he puts it in the door and turns it, you just hear this as ice grows from the key, completely freezing the lock in place. That door is solidly locked. The room in which you find yourself, there's a strange calm inside the chamber. In fact, as you look around, there's little light, a couple of sconces on the wall. Your first thought is people, and fear mode kind of kicks in. You go for your weapons, but then you realise that none of these people are moving. In fact, it's a room full of statues.
Oh.
Shall we ask the old dude?
Yeah.
Couple of questions.
He's now pulling himself back up. Who are you? What are you doing?
Try bribing him again, it worked really well.
You shouldn't be in here.
And yet here we are.
We belong here.
He'll kill you. And then he'll kill me for letting you in.
Alright, so you may as well help us, right?
Mm.
You can see that he's doing the calculations. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people against himself. He kind of murmurs something, you don't hear what, and his blade erupts in blue fire. And now illuminates the room around you.
Now. That's a terrible, terrible idea, isn't it? I suggest you drop the fucking blade before I break your spine, old man, and leave you crawling here to be killed later on.
You sure he's not using it as a torch?
Roll some intimidation. Nat 20.
Okay.
Let's hope it's a torch.
You don't understand. You could break my spine. You could break every bone in my body.
I can break your heart, too! Wait.
He went. But none of that will be even half as bad as what he'll do to me if he finds out you're inside the castle.
Well, you're not about to stop us, so he is going to find out we're inside the castle. So you can either help us or stay here and not.
That would be persuasion or intimidation, your choice.
Persuasion. That is going to be an 8, because I'm rolling really badly.
Okay, someone get this man some new dice. Again, he's undeterred. In fact, he looks ready to attack.
I just fucking got behind him.
Okay. Surprise attack. Roll some straight strength to try and grapple.
Can I athletics to grapple?
You can.
So that's 21.
Okay, so essentially, you guys all witness
22.
this. Nice. You guys, in a split second, as his brain goes, gotta fight, click, he swings back, and as he does, the large half-orc hand of Orthanc just grabs his wrist as he looks up. The other hand grabs the other wrist, and within a flurry of action, his hands are now behind his back, being twisted rather painfully.
There's no point in fighting us. We're here for Ninth anyways. Or Nemesis. We're here for Nemesis anyways.
Ninth was the boss from the previous arc.
Yes, that's right. I forgot.
Nemesis.
We're here for Nemesis anyways.
It's my fault. They all start with N for some reason.
Someone has an affinity with names for N.
Please just kill me now. Make it quick.
Look, old man, we don't want to have to hurt you, but we just want some basic answers, some basic directions. Can you do that? And can you do it quietly?
Okay, last time, persuasion with advantage.
Persuasion?
Yeah,
Okay.
he's got a nat 1, so unless you roll 2 nat 1s.
24.
That'll do it. His face falls, now being restrained. if any of you guys have played this game in the bedroom, you know that once the restraints come out, it's a bit of a game changer. So, as he's now tied, hands behind his back, his demeanour shifts a little bit. Sorry about that. And I'm not going to apologise.
Live D&D erotica
Yeah.
next week on here on
D20 after hours. So anyway,
Wait till you see my hairy little hammer.
essentially his demeanour changes quite quickly, and he kind of looks around and just says, "What do you need?"
Where is he?
3rd floor.
What's in the way?
Lots.
Traps? People?
A few traps. Patrols. Every so often. Around the hallways. Beasts. In cages. Ladders. Traps.
What's with the statues?
Yeah.
The beast. Don't look it in its eyes.
If you're gonna die anyway, can you be our guide in the meantime?
Guide us through and we'll give you your freedom.
Seems I have little choice. You going straight to the source?
Mm.
Yes, I'm very hungry.
I get out the alchemy jug and go, mayonnaise. So I got some mayonnaise.
Mayonnaise is still liquid.
Once again, D&D erotica.
Very well. Follow me quick.
Lead on. If you warn anyone, I will just break your limbs and leave you to die.
I believe that.
Thanks.
This way. He puts up his hood so as not to be noticed, seemingly, and he goes up to the door out of this room. There's actually 3. There's one in front of you and one to each side. He walks up to the one that's directly in front.
On the way, I'm just going to whisper to the crew, like, my safety phrase is nerds of power.
Cool. So he essentially leads you to one of these rooms, and he glances each way down what seem to be corridors, and he kind of tells you to wait. And then when he's happy that there's no one coming, he kind of points you forward quickly, and he rushes up to the door, and he himself uses a spell to unlock it, and it swings open, and he just kind of points.
You first.
Okay. He strolls into the room.
I'll follow.
Okay.
I'll do the same.
Okay, cool. Party follows north, direct into the center of this room. He closes the door behind you. As he does, everyone make a dex save.
Michael, what?
Dex saving throw.
Oof.
What was that?
16.
Modified 20.
Nice.
Modified 1.
Okay.
13.
Not
Okay.
as nice.
Modified 20.
Okay.
We're having a nice wee little game.
As
I'm getting 5.
You die.
you see that
That was a different dice.
Oh,
Solid modified 22.
My bad luck.
You've already touched it.
Yeah,
essentially
sorry.
when the old man entered this room, he had stepped very carefully. When you guys entered the room, you did not. As you enter, there's a slight click, and these small holes in the wall all just expel poison darts. That is 5 points of damage for those who rolled under a 10.
Is that poison damage?
It is poison.
Oh, cool.
And that is halved for anyone that rolled above a 10 for the save. At this point, as these things
That's,
out of the door,
Round down or up?
yeah.
we round up.
Okay.
Yeah. He immediately turns and runs to the door he just let you through, and is going to try and escape.
I am going to cast Firebolt.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Excellent.
Yep.
So is that a roll to hit, or is this
That's a roll to hit, yeah.
Okay, roll to hit.
That's modified 19.
Okay, cool. So essentially he runs to the door, he opens it, and you see he's just going to close it, lock you in. As he's closing this, however, Zeed just... A streak of fire emanates from his fist and travels across the room, strikes his target. True, roll damage.
That's 14.
Okay. Catches this guy who takes the full force of this and nearly falls to his knees with his last bit of strength. He closes the door. He seemingly casts something because you hear the little door lock and immediately sconces on either side of the wall light up. You're
Can I
now...
retroactively grab the key out of the door?
Unfortunately not.
Damn.
Essentially, you're all standing in what you know to be a trap room.
Okay, and poison darts just come out of the wall?
Yes.
Okay, I immediately drop to all fours, so I'm below the height that they were at.
Okay.
I immediately start flying
Okay, Zeed.
to above the height.
I sit down. Yeah, I do the same. So I'm just underneath. I'm making sure I'm
I'll
underneath
do
it.
that like double take thing and then be like, oh shit.
Did anyone see the way he made his way out?
He came through the same door that he led you in through.
Yeah.
So what do we see in the room? Sorry?
Cool. So the room itself is fairly nondescript. It looks like, it's just, assuming that people go straight forward when they get in, they're just supposed to be led into a room of traps. You see that the ground is made of stone bricks, which any one of them could be pressure plates. There's 2 sconces on either side of the wall and a faux treasure chest at the back of the room.
Do we want to try to stop him before he raises all the alarms, or do we want to keep going?
Treasure chest?
Yes.
Or a faux treasure chest?
It's a treasure chest itself that you immediately recognise to just be a prop.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think they're going to know that we're here very shortly anyway. We need to move quickly.
Okay, should we push the way through the next door then?
Yeah.
Wait, was there another door?
Nope, there's only one entrance to
there's
the
only one,
door,
sorry.
and that's the entrance that you came through.
How heavy of a door does it look?
Fairly decent. It's made of wood, not steel, but fairly decent wood door. Yeah.
Wait, that's it?
So
So it doesn't have like an exit? This is the only entrance and exit
So
that we know of? Or...
You can roll for investigation if you wish.
Right.
It's wood, not steel, right?
Yeah.
I will give you inspiration for your investigation.
Yeah.
I mean, the lock itself is
So
steel.
it's a
The door
D8.
is- the door is-
Yeah. So, like, can I just fly around the room and, like, check all the walls and stuff?
Yeah, sure, roll some investigation. But I also need you to roll dexterity to see how carefully you can do this.
Yeah, sure. Dex is nat 20.
Alright.
Fuck, that should have been the
You
investigation.
can do it again, I'll be impressed.
19.
That's
on
pretty
the dice,
good.
on
You've
the
got the
dice.
D8
So-
as well. Oh, okay.
Oh, and a D8?
Yeah.
Do I have to use it?
No, yeah,
No.
in 10 minutes.
In 10
Yeah,
minutes?
you've got
Fuck
it.
it, I'm just going to use it. I'm not going to remember it. So that's 24, 28.
Okay,
Nice.
so immediately the bird, when he senses danger, just takes off in the air, and you see him just flitter around very, very carefully, very, very quietly, goes and inspects the walls. The walls themselves are solid, however, you do in your investigations find the pressure plates and the tripwires, the fact that the treasure chest is very heavily rigged to most of the traps in the room.
Right.
No other exits that he finds?
No.
I could possibly burn down the door.
I could also just push over the sconces.
Can I use a couple of the poison darts as like little lockpicks?
You certainly can try.
Oof.
Roll some sleight of hand. But first roll dexterity. Yeah, D20, but first roll dex.
18.
Alright.
Yeah.
Cool.
18.
So that's enough to carefully get to the door without setting off the traps. Now roll sleight of hand.
Oh boy, that's a nat 1.
That's fine, at least you didn't roll that for Dex.
2.
2. With a nat 1. As you go and put these things into the lock, they both snap off inside the lock. The poison darts fall to the ground useless.
Should I try to burn the door down, or blast my way through it, or what do you
Why
guys
don't we just try like kicking it down first, because Birdie will blast
Yeah.
it.
Okay. Yeah.
Somebody who's strong, much stronger than me, want to try giving that a kick.
Plus 7.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah. Minus
And you're
one.
already at the door.
Yeah, you're already at the door.
17.
The door like kind of splinters in the middle. You need to do it one more time, but it's pretty much.
11.
And with the second strike, it cracks splinters of wood and such. You find yourself staring back into the hallway. The old man is gone.
Oof. Okay. Carefully make our way out of the room, I guess.
Okay, everyone roll dex because you're in the middle of the room. Except for you, you're at the door. You're fine, and you're flying. So.
Notice nobody said thank you, but that's fine.
Thank you. Good job.
Okay.
Here's some more mayonnaise.
Yeah, look, I've got a gold star just right
You
here.
could have knocked me out with my card anyway.
17.
13.
10.
Cool. 2 points of piercing damage. Half because you made the saves. All right. You make your way back out of the trap room, and find yourself back in the room of statues. 2 other exits from this room, one to the left, one to the right.
Are the doors marked at all?
No. Thomas, sorry, out again. Would you love to just jump on Twitch and just double check that the stream is running? Or...
Yeah, no, it is. It is.
It is. It's good.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yep.
I was on text today.
Keeping an eye on the
Okay,
chat,
so
don't worry.
you find yourself in a moodily lit room full of statues. On second glance, you see that most of the statues are like in, fighting poses.
Okay. Shit.
So there's just the 2 other doors, and that's the only other kind of.
Was the entrance you came
Well,
through?
apart from that one, I mean.
Yeah, there's only 2 other rooms that. So the room that leads to the trap room and
Just
2
having
other
a
doors.
chat. Yeah.
Are the statues like on plinths and very deliberately carved in places and set on the walls, or are they just scattered about the room?
They kind of set out every 5 or 10 feet, so there is some kind of semblance and order to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it looks like they've been placed there rather than being caught by
Right.
the monster thing there.
Correct.
Okay.
So you're saying there are 3 doors or 4. There's the one we came in.
Yep.
There's the other one.
To the trap room. and then there's a door adorning either side of the room that you find.
Alright, I'm gonna go grab the key out of the front door.
Okay, the key of ice.
Yes.
Okay, I imagine it's locked in there, covered in ice.
Yeah.
So I imagine some kind of fire spell to melt
well,
it.
kind of just igniting it as I go along. Yeah.
Just gonna ask it nicely.
Yeah.
Cool.
Hey,
so are you casting a spell to melt the ice and then taking the key out?
No, I'm just igniting the air above my hands in order to thaw out the ice slowly. If that doesn't work, then if that doesn't work well enough, then I will cast a spell.
Okay. Roll straight Arcana to see how quickly you can burn the ice.
That's 8.
Okay. It's, the ice itself is so thick and so heavy, the spell alone is not going to thaw it.
Okay. I'm not gonna try to cast anything in case I trigger all of the statues in the room. So.
Okay. It's at this point where you guys see from the ground around Hygun Blackhammer's feet a small flickering of white and blue light. It's a little fireworks. And as Orthanc recognizes and goes, wait! And goes to reach, it opens to a dimension door beneath him. You through the door itself.
Ah!
You just see the head poke through of a dwarf that some of you recognize. One of the ones that was trying to make a deal to get off this island. And he just grabs you and says, we're going, buddy! And pulls you through. The dimension door closes behind you. Your dwarf, your friend, vanished. Thank you, Alexander.
Yeah!
Use this term of the word.
For those of you wondering, Hygun Blackhammer will continue as a character, and hopefully Alexander himself will be back to play.
Do you want to take a quick break?
And at this point, we're going to take a quick 5-10 minute break while we just rechange the overlays and stuff and all that kind of thing. I need to grab some water. Thank you so much for our guest player, Alexander Sparrow. You played that beautifully. I love the accent.
Thank you very much.
And yes, you're still in the world, so return anytime you like. Just hit me up on Facebook. Have a great show tonight, Breaker League.
Thank you.
I would be there if I was not running this.
That is okay.
Excellent. All right, well, you guys go and refresh your drinks because we will be back in 5 to 10 minutes. Thank you for supporting us.
Straight back into it.
Hello and welcome back to Black Winter Nights here on the D20 Multiverse with myself, Oliver Dungeon Master, and my lovely players, the Black Winter Knights. I could do it in my sleep now. I won't though.
You probably do.
Yeah.
Jason's just like, damn it all.
Yeah, just roll for initiative. Yeah, that's pretty much. I actually have been having D&D dreams. I played too much. Anyway, welcome back. Alexander has gone off to perform at his show. Thank you so much, Hygun Blackhammer, for being part of the crew, and our tech producer Dave is back, so there won't be any issues because I'm no longer in control of the tech. Anyway,
was there issues?
No, we managed to do it pretty smoothly, except I did forget to put the "we are going live soon" thing up too soon before we actually went live.
Oh, so people missed the first bit.
It was like, no, it was like a few minutes and then we went out live.
Yeah.
So there wasn't like heaps of time.
Yeah.
So it was like, great, 10-15 minutes. No, it's actually 3.
Yeah, because I've forgotten to do that.
But Ollie does appreciate it, you know.
Yes, man. I understand all the muttering of swear words when you're setting up the cameras. I screwed it up like 5 times because I forgot to add 1 camera at a time to every shot.
That's why I get so nervous about it.
Which I totally understand.
Once you get into the rhythm of doing it, and then someone else has to come along, they have to relearn everything.
Yeah.
I have a newfound appreciation for you.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to the game.
I did warn you.
Yeah.
Red Tiger has gone ahead and followed us on Facebook.
Thank you.
And joined the Discord and a few other
That's my
his
nephew
nephew.
Jasper.
Is it? Yeah,
who's a big
okay.
fan.
So he's
He-
gone ahead and joined everything.
Thank you so much, Red Tiger Jasper. He actually designed the Lava Lord that you guys faced.
Oh.
Yeah, that was his creation, which is, I thought was pretty cool. And I checked, it's not child labour, I made sure. So, let's get back into Black Winter Nights. The party finds themselves within the pocket dimension of Lord Nemesis, the king of the 5 Lords of Violence. Through a mixture of fireballs and other things, you had made your way into the castle. Are we good? Take a shoot.
That's
It should be
live.
30 seconds to build behind, but yeah, keep going.
Okay, so you guys have made your way into the room, the entrance room to this place, which was full of statues. An old man who had knocked to the floor, as being one of the wardens of this place, had essentially said, yes, I'll lead you through, and led you straight into the room full of traps, where you guys had taken a bit of damage. He made his way out very quickly, and after Hygun Blackhammer smashed the door down, you find yourselves back
Just need to refresh that.
in the room full of statues. What are you guys doing?
This is why I don't trust old people.
Yeah.
One of the reasons.
Alright, so the way I see it, left, right, or go back outside and try to scale the wall.
Well, they all seem like equally attractive options, to be honest. Can we can I go up to one of the door, the right-hand door, just for the sake of it, just like listen, or just see if we
Yeah.
get some kind of idea if there's something behind it?
Roll a bit of perception.
I have wings.
17.
Okay, so on the door to the right, you hear... Sorry. You hear the unmistakable sound of chanting. In fact, what languages do you speak?
Elvish and Dwarvish.
In Elvish, you hear a chorus of voices which sound elven themselves. And essentially the words are something like, through the veil, take us time. Through the veil, make it mine. Through the veil, send us now. Through the veil, holy cow.
Holy cow!
Well, if that's improv.
You need to work on your Elven a bit there. mate.
Yeah, I think I may have mistranslated this actually.
Here, quick, I'll give you a hand. No, that's right. Yeah.
That's what you hear.
Is there...
That doesn't sound like a monster that's going to turn us to stone. Or it's a very cool monster that's going to turn us to stone.
Yeah. So there are 2 doors we haven't been through. That was one of them.
That was the right-hand one, and we don't know. No.
Does it look like one of the others more traveled?
Actually, they look about even.
Okay.
Can we?
That old guy's been keeping up with housekeeping. We can't see any tracks.
Can we listen at the other door as
Roll
well?
perception.
Okay.
Essentially, he's the squib. What's the squib from? Oh, Argus Filch.
Oh,
10. Okay, yeah, you hear what's unmistakably the sound of shouting at random intervals, but you can't discern any of the thing what they're saying with a 10.
It's just one voice,
Can I-
not 2.
No, it sounds like a couple of voices. at
Can I
random.
give him a hand with this?
Sure, I don't usually allow players to re-roll the same thing, but I will.
That's perception, right?
Yeah.
That's 11.
Okay.
So, you know,
You
so
can't-
much
it's
so
still
much better.
You catch one word, which is the word kill, being shouted.
This one. Let's
My
go
one sounds a lot more
let's
fun.
go through this one, yeah.
I mean, the rhymes are aimed to it, but you know.
I mean,
if you want to freestyle battle the priest, there are people in that room, man. I will allow you to do that.
just walk in, we make our way through with a rap battle.
What are you guys doing?
Is there like an obvious lock or anything on the door, or a handle, or?
They both have handles. They seem also to be able to be locked, but not with a key. They have locking mechanisms built into the door, just no keyhole.
Okay. I'd like to try the handle of the right-hand door.
Okay. You roll. I roll. It's unlocked. This is actually one of the ways, seemingly, that's been opened recently, as it's not locked. And you just kind of... Door opens slightly.
Like, it's minimally like hand put my head through and just
Roll some stealth. Roll some stealth.
Does the chanting stop as you open?
No. The chanting's still going.
That is a grand total of 5.
Okay, so you kind of, I don't know, there's no real way to peek your head around stealthily, so you just kind of stick your head clear out. Looking through, you can see a hallway, a long dark hallway that goes down to the side. There's one door on the right, and then the corridor turns to the left and out of view. The chanting is louder. It almost sounds angry at this point. Breakthrough! Come on now! Free us! Free us!
So it sounds like it's coming from further in the corridor, not from like something invisible in that room.
Correct.
Okay.
Well, I guess, should we go down the corridor?
Yeah. So should I try to cast Detect Magic to see if there's any traps or anything? I guess.
I mean, we've never done that before, so I would.
Yeah. Fair enough. Just go around through.
I'm flying.
My face is my detect trap spell.
Flying as high up as I can go.
Yeah, we're fine.
It's about 20, 30 feet to the room.
Yeah, I figured.
It works.
Yeah, I guess it works.
Alright, so
I will stomp noisily forward unless someone has a better suggestion.
I will
This is good.
follow vicariously behind these guys.
Okay. The party heads down the corridor towards the room. If you want to roll stealth, please do. Are you
I
actually
need to say
just
stop
Alright, okay.
noisily.
Alright.
I'm gonna yell just as loud as I can.
Essentially,
I'm
as...
gonna try to stealth just for the aspect of rolling.
Sure.
Oh, well, not well. Yep. No, don't worry about it.
Okay, the party plods noisily down the corridor. You see that adorning the walls are very, very little. In fact, it's kind of somewhat crudely constructed with stone and metal. However, as you take a few steps down the corridor, you guys all hear the chanting simultaneously stop, and you're plunged into silence. A couple of hushed whispers behind the door, and then
Clang, clang.
it opens, and the head of what looks like an elven, maybe 300, 400 years old, just kind of scaredly pushes his head out and sees you and closes the door. You see this field, this protection of magic shell that now protects the door.
Should we?
It's a chant in Elven.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay.
I'll help. Sorry, I speak Elvish.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We'll do it in unison.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're just harmonizing.
Yeah. Actually, no. Can you drop a beat? Can you beatbox for me? And
Yeah.
I'll,
Yeah.
Yeah.
You need to speak Elven to do that, right?
I've actually already forgotten what the chant is, unfortunately. So yeah.
It's like
Roll straight intelligence to see if your character remembers.
Alright. Probably not actually.
Okay.
Fucking hell. That's a 7.
The adrenaline was running. You know, you're breaking into the place.
Actually-
You might end up dying. It's very difficult to remember semantics.
I'll say what I thought it was. Is I break on through something that.
It's not a Doors song.
Holy cow.
Break on through.
Yeah. I would just start singing break on through the other
okay.
side. But
Alright.
does that work? Does that work?
Yeah, totally.
Oh, good,
Roll
I thought
performance. Roll performance.
Fucking hell.
Get this man some dice.
using that.
8. I'm gonna grab a new dice.
You
not
hear
the
nothing but
first
hushed whispers
table.
from behind the door as the anti-magic field surrounds it.
Yeah.
You also hear the mechanisms within the door locking at the hest of some kind of spell.
There's the corridor way it's still open there, right?
Yeah. They've essentially just barricaded themselves in the room.
Yeah, we got the last door. Let's go through the last
should we
door.
just keep going?
We have one more door.
Well, was there anything further in this area other than the
So
heading into the
essentially,
doorway?
it's a corridor.
Yep.
And here's the room.
Yep.
And the corridor turns, and that's all you can see.
Oh, okay. So it does go off to the left as well.
Yeah.
Oh, alright, we follow the corridor. Good.
Okay. As you guys turn around the corridor, you immediately see a patrol of 2 berserkers running at full speed. If you'd like to make stealth rolls, do.
I honestly, I'm going to be more stealthy if I don't make a stealth roll.
They see you, they pull weapons.
They went that way!
Okay,
15.
deception. I'm
What's the
rolling.
worst that can happen by lying to everyone you meet? Deception, you say. Okay. 15?
Whew. DC 14. Now you can see in their very eyes the fact that they've been trained, and from the scars and burns, probably quite gruesomely, to obey orders and snap decisions. They see you speak with an air of authority, you have weapons, you have people with you, you're seemingly confidently striding through the halls of this place. They don't question it. It's that beautiful thing of social compliance. They run up, they see you, okay! They turn, they pull their weapons and they start shouting, "Time to kill!"
They're behind the door!
Which one? There's a lot of doors in this
The
hallway.
one that has the force field unlocked over it.
Okay, so they run past you, push you all out of the way, rather non-politely, we'll say. Shove you to the room, kind of thing. And he just... And as soon as he kicks the door, he goes flying backwards. The anti-magic shell sends him rocketing past you once more. So essentially, he runs and pushes through, kicks, and then immediately backwards, past you. However, his friend is now swinging at the field. Every time he does, it's like a very powerful magnet repelling his blast.
I'm just going to try and make eye contact with everyone else and do that.
Let's get out of here.
Okay.
Continuing down the hallway.
Let's go.
So, in this hallway, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 doors. 2 on this side, 3 on this side.
Should we trust the old man and keep going upstairs, or try to find the stairs to go up, or just go door by door?
Well, let's open the first door and see what it is.
Alright,
And then,
Okay, so the first doors, there's one, so 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Which one would you like to open?
1.
I fucked that up, didn't I? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
1.
Roll a
One.
d6.
Well, I mean, one's closest, right?
Yeah,
If
I mean-
that one's the one with
Yeah.
the most danger, we can just run the other way again.
Okay.
Yep.
Party at Ted makes their way in front of door number 1. Tell them what they've won, Johnny! Anyway, that's a 90s game show reference. As you get to the door, again, it's got the same wood construction, the same lock mechanism without a keyhole.
Can I try the handle again?
Yeah, you can. This one is locked.
On to the next one.
Yep.
Okay. The next one following this corridor, or the next one across the road.
2.
Cool. So, you turn to this door. This one is also locked.
3.
The price is not right.
3 is locked.
4.
Is Nat 20 locked.
5.
Is Nat 19 locked.
Alright. Should we go back to the first one? Can anybody pick a lock? Anybody pick, or are we
I did actually get taught a thing or two. I'll go up to the lock, look at it carefully, and then...
Roll screen. I know that was coming. Yeah, roll screen.
Well, that was almost a 21, but it was actually 7.
The construction of this
Close.
thing is quite heavy, even for a wooden door.
Fuck.
I can, well, burn it. But
I remember.
Python, can I like jam it in beside the lock and then slam the Python at an angle so
I thought you said Python. I thought that's
Yeah,
you
I was
picked
like-
up earlier.
I was like-
and I was
No,
like,
no, that got killed.
It did, yeah. Yeah, sure.
Sad story. Cool. So I'll stick the
Monty.
Python in by the door,
Yeah.
and then basically kick it to flick the door open.
Try strength again.
Okay,
I'll allow you to do it because it's a different method.
sweet.
So essentially, as this is going on, you can still hear the sounds of weapons trying to break through a magic field.
Okay, that's +3 +1 is 15.
Okay, at this time, right, you hit right, you kind of like put the pressure right next to where the lock mechanism is. As you know, that is the most pressure that you can get pivotally. We're talking counterbalance, weight kind of thing. I was in physics, and the door kind of just cracks in place right next to the lock, and the door kind of opens slightly.
Oh, told you.
Cool.
Yeah, I'll peek through.
Inside, you find runes inscribed in the ground and quite a large hole that's been created in the ground as well. You can see empty vials of potions and what looks like a lot of scorch marks.
Do I recognize the runes on the ground by looking at them from here?
Sure, that would be...
Arcana?
Yeah.
5.
Nope.
If only I had that snake.
can we all check out the rooms and things?
I'll allow you guys to do one more roll. Oh, actually, no, everyone roll. I don't know.
Don't step in there.
It's not like a language, it's just like sort of magic runes.
It is a specific language with
Right.
runes, yeah.
But it's
Uh,
not
not
primordial.
Oh,
Alright.
nat 20 +6.
Okay.
Nice.
Zai, what languages do you speak?
Common, Elf, Ingen, and Dragonic.
Okay. You recognise it to be Dwarvish, and within that 20, you are able to understand the runes, despite the fact you do not speak
Okay.
Dwarvish. This is because you have been taught these runes from where you're from, the castle of,
Yeah.
So, essentially, you'd learnt these runes
Next story.
because they are very heavy warnings, as well as runes that are for activating portals, but specifically for crossing into the Nine Hells.
Let's not go there, shall we, guys?
I'll
I'll let the others know.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah. So very dark runes that indicate a few things: danger, portal, and hell.
Alright, well, I guess this is how everyone's been getting to and from, or one of the ways. Let's just ignore this for now.
Yeah. Well, we can't relock it because I busted it.
Yeah.
Let's go to the second.
Yeah, but
Well,
if you just close
actually,
it gently.
were there any of those potions left over on the ground?
Roll investigation.
That is, just like 25.
This is what you find in that room.
Oh, cool.
In the corner, next to ripped pages and splatterings of blood on the ground.
Okay. Right, I'm gonna ignore that for now. Do I know what it? Can I tell what it does?
Roll Arcana, Survival, Intelligence, whatever you want.
Okay, Arcana. That's 21.
So there seems to be some powerful sense of necromancy, obviously.
Okay.
And in fact, you recognize it to be from a demon.
Okay. It's a black heart.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So you know.
Seems like something you definitely want to carry around.
Yeah. Yeah. You definitely.
What's our record of carrying?
Tuck it away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just put that in your pocket, right?
Yeah.
That's good.
Fetch a pretty penny. Back in the real world.
Yeah. Cool. Let's try door number 2.
Okay. It's locked, so
Same thing.
alright, go for it.
Python, except this time I'm going to be really cool. Stick the Python in the door and then fucking run and fly kick the Python.
I'm going to guard it as well, because I
Okay.
don't know why I've been doing this already.
14.
Okay.
Take another 1d4 as well from guns.
Yeah, I would add that. You need it.
Thank you.
Whatever you roll is enough, because it's a DC 15.
Yeah.
So you see Orthanc, the half-orc bard, go up to the door. Tap, 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 push, push. I got this. Carefully places the thing in the door. Takes a few steps back. And just dives into it. It comes off. Inside the room, 5 Azers who all immediately swing around and look at you guys. This is, in this room, one of the carts full of lava has been brought into this room. You see immediately, well, everyone on perception, we'll see who figures it out first.
16.
19.
10.
Yeah, Duke. Sorry, Orthanc. I looked at you and suddenly I had like this flashback. Orthanc.
Yep.
You can see that these Azers have been using the lava from the mountain of the ever-burning volcano.
Mm-hmm.
The one that has been transposed into this reality. Brought through dimension.
What's an Azer, sorry?
So, an Azer is a small, dwarvish-sized creature, made, in fact, of fire and steel. They cannot reproduce. They have to be created. They essentially are a slave race that do as what their master tells them. They're very, very good at crafting and finding gems. The rest of the party, on their way to the obelisk in the centre, had in fact found a large swarm of these outside the volcano, putting the lava into these heavy steel carts, one of which is in this room. Orthanc, you can see the purpose of this in the lava itself. They're currently building a very large golem out of metal.
Oh, fuck.
That's what they've been tasked to do. However, as you burst in, they all turn to you and draw swords.
I also just so happen to speak their language.
True.
So I'll command them to keep going about their business.
Alright, so that would be intimidation.
Yeah.
How big is the golem looking, by the way?
No.
Might be.
No?
10.
DC was 10.
Oh,
So it succeeds.
shit.
Again, these creatures are used to taking orders. The golem looks about halfway constructed.
Okay.
It looks fierce. If this thing is constructed before you guys get out of this place, it's essentially maybe 70 feet tall, half constructed.
Oh, Jesus. All
Should
right.
I try to tell them to stop?
Tell them to build it nice. Like, so it's nice.
That's nice. Yeah. There's been
Can I
a
give
change.
you
in
3
that.
experience points for just being sweet? That was nice. That was wonderful.
Colossal golem of good etiquette and nice manners.
Yeah.
Just
Would
goes
you
around.
like some tea?
Oh
Just
God.
like
I'm
city-sized
burnt.
golem with like
Just a tray
giant
of tea.
tea.
I burnt the biscuits, bastard.
They've kind of like just turned, drawn
Here,
weapons.
have a house-sized cup.
I think the thing that really swung it was the fact you spoke their language. That's what made them kind of just go, and they just turned back to building this thing.
Yeah.
Okay. You guys have some.
Next one, eh?
Okay. The third door
We're doing
in this
fine.
corridor is in fact riddled with steel bars. Unlike the other doors, this one has bars as well into the wood.
Cool. Don't forget 5. 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. Let's do 5.
Alright.
Okay, and the door is locked. Try and get through, if you wish.
Yeah, sure. I will set up the Python carefully at lock height.
It's at this point, on the other side of the hallway,
Fuck!
they've broken through the barrier. With a final swing,
Oh.
the spell fades, and they're now going to unlock the doors.
Should we investigate or just ignore it?
I'm in the middle of something very, very, very delicate here. Just give me a second.
Sorry.
Set the Python up. Put my great axe away.
And
Yeah.
Pull out my little hammer that I use for bopping deadly animals on the head and just go tink.
Sleight of hand.
Excellent. That's so much worse
Worse
than
than
strength.
By the way, Justin, do a running kick again.
The
19.
19, DC 15. So,
Variance.
I don't know how, but somehow you just go tap and the whole door just like you just had it in the perfect kind of spot. Yeah. Inside is piles and piles of gold.
Oh boy.
However, at the end of the hall, you now hear intruders, and no, it's not us, it's them. And the two berserkers turn and look at you.
Aren't
Aren't
they
they around
around
the
the corner?
Yeah.
Well, the door, the room itself, kind of ends still with a little bit of it facing the corridor that you
Should
can't
we
read.
just duck inside or should we fight?
I'll yell back, that's what an intruder would say. They're the intruders.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Deception.
He's right. He outranks you. I'm gonna give him advantage.
Okay, deception with advantage.
21.
They turn back to the people in the room, and they one of them just goes, here's going to cast, and both of them fail their saves. The two berserkers just immediately, their eyes glaze over,
damn.
and the person, the dark bearded figure just kind of points and says, kill, and the two berserkers just swing around, their minds completely controlled by this thing, and start taking
Close
steps.
the door.
Get in,
Close
get
the
in.
door. Close the
Yeah.
door.
I will keep the door open,
Yeah,
and I will ready an action for one to step in. Then I will slam it shut.
okay. Alright, you guys shuffle into the room full of gold.
How much
How
gold
high
are we
is
talking
it?
about, Oliver?
We are talking piles and piles of gold. A hoard, in fact.
Is this like a large room?
Fairly
that's
large.
like maybe 50 feet high?
Yeah.
Cool. I'm gonna fly like 30 feet in the air.
Sure. Yeah, this is a large room. Bags of gold, there's coppers and silvers mixed in as well, but mostly it's gold. There's a few coins of platinum. It looks like you've got satchels that have been ripped off people and taken into this dimension. A whole bunch of gold from a whole bunch of different places, it looks like. However, at this point, the footfall of the berserkers as they enter the room, roll some strength against my strength.
So I want to try to get one in, but lock the other out.
Okay,
So just a straight up strength check.
correct.
Okay. What's so nearly 20? 12.
Yep, that's fine. He rolled a 3 on his. So, essentially, are you trying to trap him in the door?
So I want to let one in and then cut the other off so he's out.
And I'll say you managed to do that with that thing. He runs into the room. He's going to start attacking. I think we need to roll initiative. I don't think I'm going to bust out the map for this, because it shouldn't be that long, and it's...
Oh boy.
It's like one guy.
Yeah, we're all just
And
gonna
then
die.
another one guy.
Yeah, you guys didn't hear the show. Whatever.
Sorry.
That's where we are.
Actually, just don't roll. Yeah.
You know what, guys? You know, I'm thinking he just wipes you all in one swoop. You know.
So, 20 to 25. 15,
He's
15 to
got
20.
lead.
19.
15.
Welcome to the table of good rolling.
10 to 15. Okay.
Welcome to the other table.
5 to 10.
2.
Okay. Right, so first up is Zai. Essentially, your compadre, Orthanc, has managed to slam the door shut right in between the two of them. One of them, eyes still glazed over, is just pointing swords.
Wait, who's Zai?
Kai.
Kai.
Oh, Kai.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You said Zai!
I know. I
He
was
always
looking.
said
I've
Zai.
just gotten used
he's
to it by now.
always said Zai.
It's just it's pronounced any way you want it.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
That works for me.
It's
Yeah,
Zai
essentially,
with
you've got
silent
first action. You
panic.
see this thing, it's running, it's swinging, it's in mid-swing. What are you going to do?
I am gonna yell at. How dare you disobey your masters!
Okay, persuasion against the spell DC of the other person, which is a nat 20.
Okay.
So you need a nat 20 to be able to counter it.
18.
Unfortunately, does not do it. He's still in mid-swing. That is your free action to speak.
Okay, so
So an action bonus
wait.
action.
Well, would my modified beat the nat 20?
No, because he's got a
Yeah.
spellcasting modifier of like 5.
No worries.
Yeah.
Oh wait, hold on.
You still got an action and a bonus action,
No,
but that's just your free.
A net 20 beats a non-net 20 anyway, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, because
well,
I've
if you both rolled, then
got
it'll
26 modified, but
Right.
yeah,
Uh,
I don't know which. I've never.
No,
come
no,
into this
50.
scenario.
So 50
Yeah,
succeeds
yeah.
on a nat 20.
Yeah.
If
Okay,
it was
sorry.
Pathfinder, then yes.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. You still got an action and a bonus action, I'd say, or a bonus action. I'd say it's your action to try and intimidate him.
Okay. I'm gonna back away.
Okay. All right. You do. Before he gets a chance to do anything, however, bird-like reflexes kick in. You're quick. You're faster than most. What are you gonna do?
I am gonna pull out my crossbow and shoot him.
Okay. Sweet. Loads crossbow points. Roll to hit.
Boom. That would be a 24.
That definitely hits. Roll some damage.
1d6, not 2d6. 4 plus 3. 7.
7. Okay, sweet. First one sinks in. He kind of is taken back a little bit. He's looking for where the bolt came from.
19.
That hits. Roll damage.
That's 8.
Cool. Again, second one sinks into me. So you still can't see where it's coming from.
And 13.
That just hits. Roll damage.
4.
Man, I regret not taking Quicken Spell.
So, and he's just going to go and he's going to attack 1, 2, 3, 4. He's going to attack Zeed. Kai. He's going to attack Kai. Alright, so he, in fact, he's going to go reckless. So he just kind of starts from the pain and come charging at you. He's now got advantage, however.
You also have advantage.
Correct.
Oh, do I?
Yes. Anyone who attacks him
Has advantage.
has advantage.
So, with advantage, he's coming at you with his great axe. That is 22 to hit.
Yep, that hits.
Okay, give me a sec to find the right die. That is 11 points of
Yep,
slashing
that's
damage.
amount.
You're unconscious?
Yeah.
Cuts, because he's taking a lot of damage.
You
up to
guys
this
missed
point.
the other combat.
He was on 10.
He was on 10. I was on 10 when we walked into the castle.
He catches you full in the chest. The force of the blow just knocks you off your feet. You guys all watch him tumble to the ground unconscious. That's all he's doing. Remember, you've got advantage against the next attack. Gorstag, you're up.
Cool. First off, I'm going to use my bonus action to cast Healing Word
Nice.
on you there. So that is going to be 3 plus 3, 6. So that's 6 points of healing for you.
Nice. Thank you. Much appreciated.
Very welcome. And I'm going to attack with my Gauntlet of Fire on the dude.
Cool. So, advantage.
That is going to be a 15 to hit.
That definitely hits. Roll damage. Thank you so much. On this chair. Thank you.
Oh my god. So I rolled as little damage as I possibly could. Two ones on 2d6, which
Wow.
is what's plus.
Oh, no, that's double, so you get to roll again.
No.
Yeah, no.
So that's 4 damage in total.
4, okay.
I almost got away with that.
The fire catches him in the face, and it kind of engulfs his head in fire. And it comes off the other side, and he seems very little deterred. He's just focusing on his one mission, which is kill. Alright, Gorthanc. Anything else?
Nope.
Orthanc, the half-orc bard.
Cool. Do I feel like if I step away from the door, the other guy will just push in?
Yes.
Okay. Is there a way for me to conceivably lock or close it?
Not really. It's a locking mechanism without a key.
So I couldn't. There's no like.
It's got a
bars
hole.
or anything.
Yeah.
Okay.
You could. It's got a handle. You could jam something up against it.
How far is the guy from me?
It's at 10 feet.
Damn.
Essentially, he's just run into the room, taken a bunch of bolts, swung, hit someone, they hit the floor. Now he's just foaming at the mouth, looking at what his next target will be.
Okay, yeah, I will try and jam my great axe up against the door, I guess.
Cool. That would be, I say straight strength, to just kind of lodge it.
19.
And you do manage to get it right up underneath the door handle, and you kind of just push it until the hilt is like firmly against the door. No one's getting through that anytime soon.
Sweet. And then I will, as a bonus action, do a 3rd level healing word on Kai.
Very nice.
Oh, okay.
So, Kai, essentially the last thing you remember is great axe being swung at you with great force.
Yeah.
You remember the pain as the simultaneously cut, bruised, and maybe broke a little bit as you hit the floor. Poof, the next thing you remember is just the light of Palor himself racing across you. You awake from consciousness, and seconds later, woo,
Get up, exploding man!
yeah, exactly.
Oh, 8 hit points.
And in fact, we are back to the top of the initiative, so you are up.
Nice.
Alright.
You're also prone.
Yes.
Yes, so I'll expend half movement to get up.
Alright, Zai stands up once more. Alright.
And cast Scorching Ray.
Okay, now we'll talk.
Sorry, I'm just gonna. So 3 rays. I'll cast all 3 at the guy in front of me.
Cool.
So I need to roll 3 d20s, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, you would be at disadvantage for doing a ranged attack in melee, but he used reckless, so you are at advantage. So it's
Yeah.
So it's normal.
Attack rolls against them have advantage, so that counts as up with disadvantage.
Okay. That's 14, 15 for the first two.
Both hit.
nice.
And then 4 on
Does not hit. Alright.
Oh,
Sorry, I
okay.
clapped because I thought that was a 14 that you said. Alright.
Oh,
Cool.
that's plus 6, so it's 10.
No, it does not hit.
Okay.
But the first two do. So essentially, you wake up from consciousness, feel this like this strengthening the words of Orthanc, which immediately stand up, and you just see this thing ready to kill, and you just hands shoot these 3 scorching rays. 2 of them just catch him square in the chest, and he is blasted back against the wall. Roll damage.
That's 7 on the first,
Nice.
and 10 on the second.
Nice.
Nice. You can see the searing pain as his flesh kind of simultaneously burns and melts in these 2 places here. This deep, like now sunken bit of flesh as the body is kind of like caved inwards. He just seems undeterred by this. He's badly injured, but he's still just on mission to kill. Anything else?
No. As my bonus, I'm just going to be like,
There's
there's a hole here a minute ago.
Zeed, you're up.
Yep. Just pew pew pew.
Okay, advantage still.
Yep. So first attack, I got a crit.
Alright.
Nice.
So just double.
Do that first, double the dice.
Double dice.
Yep.
Yep. Same modifier. So that's 9 damage.
Cool. Oh,
Second attack is yes, that's a hit.
cool.
Is another 9 damage.
Alright.
And third attack is another hit.
Alright, roll damage.
Woo! God, I can miss on like 4s and lower.
Yeah.
Plus 8 to hit is pretty solid. Anyway, that's for 7.
Cool. Bolts. This time, you've taken a bit more time to aim, and you've gone for his major organs. So you've just got heart, lung, spleen. Kill. And he's still going. Anything else?
No, that's bonus. Yeah.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Zeed. Oh, I dropped the die. He comes at you with the great axe. He's going to try and you're like 30 feet
30
up,
feet
aren't you?
above
He's
him.
not going to be able to get you, so I have to roll that again. Won't he do anything? I'm sorry. Zai, he's got...
Thanks for the healing, but
This is why I'm on 20 HP. Most of that damage has been dealt by me.
That's a hit with 20, non-modified. I mean, sorry, modified 20.
Yep.
That is 13 points of slashing damage. As once
1
again,
HP.
this thing cracks into you.
Be fine. It'll be okay.
That's all he's doing. So, now Gorstag, we're back to you.
Cool. I'll attack him again. Do I still have advantage?
Yes.
Cool. It's going to be a 24.
Oh, no, sorry, you don't have advantage.
He did it
No, he did
reckless.
it again. Yes, he did. Sorry,
Yeah.
yes. Sorry, no, that you
so
do.
24 to hit.
That hits roll damage. Essentially,
Nice.
Gorstag just kind of runs forward, swings his weapon.
5 damage.
And what weapon are you using?
They're still going on fire again.
How do you want to do this?
Nice. I kind of envision.
Copyright.
I mean, what would you like to do with this attack that kills him?
Yeah, there we go.
I kind of imagine you kind of just like, it does like a, kind of, you point at him and does like a burst of fire out of it. So,
Cool.
so something like that. So I kind of just go up to him, shove it at him, and then set him on fire.
Sweet. So essentially, you go up and you just place your hand on the side of his face. And he kind of turns, looks at it, looks at you. The last thing he sees is a streak of fire from your hand as the flesh is just torn asunder from his skull, and all that's left is just scorch marks around here and just pure skull. Smoke, black, bit of ash. That's the floor. Pounding on the door, the other one.
Time for round 2. Back up.
Yep.
I'll give Kai time to get out of the doorway, and then I'll let the other guy in.
Okay.
I'll move a little further to the other side of the room.
Orthanc, hands against the door. It's kind of like, even against the strength, so it's like a kind of shimmering a little, get back! And you guys do. And then you open it up, the Berserker runs in. Reroll initiative. Actually, let's keep that. I'll just change him. Alright, cool. So, top of the initiative. Kai, you're up.
Okay. I am going to immediately. Oh well. How far away is he?
From you, about 20 feet.
Okay. Is there anyone in between me and him?
No.
Could I potentially burning hands then?
Yes.
Okay. I'll do that.
Cool. Zai, Kai runs
Either one.
directly up to him and just puts his hand on his chest. And burning hands, his hands erupt in this white hot flash of fire.
Yeah. So that's he needs to make a dex save.
Okay.
And against
That
a
is
14.
7. So
Okay.
that's not going to make it.
So he takes 3d6.
Alright, no damage.
What's your range on that? How close do you have to get to it?
It's 15 feet.
Okay.
Yeah, 15 feet. Yeah.
Yeah. It's 15
Sorry, I
feet
thought-
cone as well, so like it can hit up. Yeah.
Sorry, I thought that was a touch spell. Alright,
No,
so you
no.
take a few steps forward and... if you've seen like tarmac on a hot day, this kind of like shimmer of heat just erupts from...
Yeah. That's a 15. Oh wait. No, actually, sorry. That was 13. No, 14. Sorry.
Nice.
Nice.
Alright.
That's hard.
And
It is.
even this thing that's just a sole purpose to kill, and this blast of heat covers his eyes, and you just see blistering on his arms.
These are not well made.
No.
Why would you use skin?
No, this is a berserker. This is essentially
Oh,
a
like an actual person.
yeah. It's
Oh.
essentially a human who's been trained and hyped up.
Well, that's stupid.
And then mind control.
and
Yeah,
a little bit of
yeah.
mind control.
How
Anyway.
horribly mind controlling goes.
Zeed, you're up.
Cool. I think at this point that I'm like, alright, these guys have definitely taken fire damage. I'm gonna go and hurt myself again, and they have no range attack, so they can't hurt me.
Okay.
I'm gonna go down to 10.
He could throw his great axe.
He could, but then he'd be without a great axe.
Well, in
Um,
anger, we all do things.
Let's do this. Crossbow is now on fire,
Cool.
and I get 2 attacks this turn.
Zeed cuts his hand, bleeds on his weapon.
We've
bursts in
got
fire.
a 2 and an 18, so a 10 does not hit,
Great.
and a 26.
That does hit, roll damage. So essentially one of these bolts sinks into him, the other one whistles past his ear.
That is 7 damage.
Cool.
We forgot Dain.
Yeah, we did. Anyway.
He's in my pocket.
He accidentally,
we don't-
he accidentally also fell through the dimension door.
Forget Dain, he just doesn't exist.
I had forgotten that he was supposed to be here. Anyway, Gorstag, yeah.
Well, we'll deal with that later.
Yeah.
Sweet. Has he done the thing?
Not yet, no.
Alright, cool.
We jump to an alternate reality.
Yeah, I'll just attack.
Okay.
Meanwhile,
13?
Dain's reality.
Just hits, roll damage. Gorstag, what are you attacking with? Gorstag?
Gauntlet flame thing again. At this point in time, I'm rolling a little bit. It was 13 points of damage.
That's what
Oh,
I'm
that's
talking
more
about.
like it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Do we have like little name triangles?
Yes. Essentially, Gorstag runs up and Gauntlet of Fire. You kind of erupt them and just at him, and it square in the chest. Erupts, burns for quite some time in front of him as he kind of flails through and eventually pats it out
Just in case.
and looks back at you, like half his face like just dripping melted flesh. He's up. He's going to throw his great axe.
Bring it.
Essentially, he goes reckless, so he's got advantage. That is
AC's 15.
so that's a hit with 24.
God damn it.
Yeah.
I have health.
That is 14 points of slashing damage.
Famous last words.
He just chucks it in the air. It cascades forward, hits Zeed square, sinks in, and are you conscious?
I am unconscious.
It kind of just clatters to the ground. Right, now he went reckless, so Orthanc, you're up. You've got advantage
After
on attack
offering
rolls.
me a healing
Yeah,
potion,
it's
he
like,
eats the
hey,
healing
I want a
potion.
healing potion.
Yeah.
I'm going to Great Weapon Master and crit.
Alright.
Yep, I crit.
Hey, you caught it, you fucking did it.
Yeah.
That's all you have to do? Alright, I'm going to just crit.
Does that give him a...
So,
It didn't work
on
for
a
me.
crit, I do get a second attack as a bonus action as well. So,
Nice.
I'll resolve this first. And
Oh,
as a
he's a
half-orc, I get a second critical hit die. With
Ooh.
attack.
Right.
So,
Nice.
that definitely could have gone better, but that's alright. That's 12 plus 3 is 15 plus 10 is 25. And then on the second attack, that's like a 27
That
to hit.
hits.
Yep. No crit this time. So 25 damage from the first attack and 4 from the second.
Okay. So, what
Pretty good.
were you attacking with?
Great axe.
So, essentially,
Kitchen lights.
Oh, that's right. That's fixes the lighting.
Alright, sorry. So Orthanc takes a step forward. He's still looking at where he's thrown the axe. And as he turns, A disco rave erupts in the room.
I keep forgetting the ones there are in the middle. The middle lights.
It's weird,
shit,
right?
It's really
That
confusing.
is really weird.
Anyway, Orthanc steps forward, and he's kind of like smiling from the attack, half his face still melting off.
Oh wait, actually that wasn't right. I didn't double the dice. So it would have been another 11. So 36 on the first one, 4 on the second one.
How
He's
do you
already
want-
dead. But you know.
How would you like to kill this one now that the
I'd
hit
like to
points are
almost
gone?
kill him and then realise I did it wrong and just push a little harder.
Yeah, you had him on 4 hit points
Oh.
before you realised that you double it. So essentially, Orthanc, as he's just half his face melted. The last thing he sees is what he thought was light reflecting from one of the gold pieces in the room. But as he looks down and turns, there's just this quick flurry of movement, and then he thinks, "Should I be drinking blood right now? No. That must be my blood." And his head just peels backwards off his neck, and poof, the body hits the ground.
Oh,
Nicely done.
no, excellent.
So you find yourself in a room full of gold within Nemesi's lair.
And a knocked out bird.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I do have a health potion on.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I'll give you a cure wounds.
Go.
Which is.
I'm honoured.
So essentially, the last thing you hear is "Don't mock the DM" as you from your unconscious state. The words ringing in your head.
At least you didn't get a second attack on.
Is the 9 points of healing for you.
Oh, nice.
You bird-like eyes blink awake on the floor of the stone room in which you will find yourself.
So how much of this gold can we carry?
Quite a lot. If you want to take as much as you can.
Yep.
I'm gonna take. Yeah.
Does
Go,
anyone know like extra dimensional pockets or anything that they're holding out on us?
No.
Dang, you can hold a lot of gold thing as you're just standing there doing nothing, right?
He
Dane,
does this.
I think Dane wants to throw away all his other items so he can carry.
I'll roll for it. Yeah, he does.
Yeah. Oh wow. So courteous, Dane.
So essentially, you can fill your pockets,
Yep.
which would give you each about 50, 60 gold. Or you can carry some of the bags, which means you'll be carrying an item, which might be a disadvantage for certain things.
Might I suggest that we fill our pockets and then Dain carries some bags and thereby we can forget him easily? And it's okay.
Yeah, it works.
Yeah.
Leave it behind
Is there, are there any other like precious gems or jewels in the area? In, like,
Roll investigation. On first glance, it seems to be mainly gold. A couple of gold and silvers, copper and silver, a couple of platinum.
That is 22.
I'm grabbing all the platinum.
Cool. So platinum in total, you find 5 platinum,
Yeah.
which is 500 gold.
Yep.
In my world.
Jesus.
Oh, so it's like they're in hundreds rather than tens?
Correct.
Yeah, sweet.
I don't think you find any gems or such.
I was searching for those diamonds.
So I can carry the platinum pieces, just because I'm really not strong.
Cool. So if you fill your pockets
Yeah.
and don't put down things and start actually carrying stuff, I'd say you each get 65 pieces of gold.
Cool.
Sweet.
I just looked down and was like, how do I have 310? And then I realized. Like,
And now I have 65 gold pieces.
Cool.
Gambling's a terrible addiction.
not if you're winning.
I only use it on arrows and
have
that's
not-
about it.
Not lost once in game, but out of it,
Oh man.
I think Ollie's won pretty penny off of me.
Hey man.
Anyway,
money's-
we're not here to talk about our
Yeah, yeah.
game, so. Anyway, you find yourself standing in a room full of gold, the glinting still shining off some of the pieces, and the blood now flowing freely from some of the people you've just murdered.
Does it look like there's anything interesting on the dudes we've just killed?
Roll some investigation.
I'm gonna take a seat.
Yeah, might I suggest we take a short rest if we have time?
That's a good idea. Investigation, that's only a 6.
Okay, no, you do not find anything interesting on them,
Okay.
save for the great axes, and a couple of bits of paper that essentially have written on them, step 1, shower, step 2, kill. That's their MO. That's
Do
like
they
their
smell
mantra.
anyway?
I'm focusing more on the second one. Yeah.
Cool, so short rest.
Yeah, the only problem is that the golem probably won't be finished in an hour.
No.
35 feet of like,
Yeah,
quite a lot, right?
Although you did tell them go back to work, so they're they're working at high.
We can go back and deal with them if we want.
We should go and command them to unionize.
Yeah.
Go on strike.
Who's paying you? Are you satisfied?
Contact us.
Yeah, let's take a short rest, and I'll just sit up against the door.
Okay, alright. Short rest time. Everyone... Yeah, you make it through without anyone seemingly noticing too much as a miss. As the dead bodies of the guards are within the room, they don't seem to notice. However, the Chanters, the ones that were casting the spells, you're not sure what's happened with them. They did know that you were within the guard.
So what's that? A D6? My hit die is a D6, so I roll a D6?
D6 plus con, and you can use a number equal to your level every day.
Okay, so essentially I can expend as many as I want right now until a long rest. Well, yeah, okay. Well, in that case, I'm going to use...
And they add your con to each die.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Yeah. Nice.
Alright.
Go for it.
So we're use max 5 then.
Yeah.
So I'm going to use...
So
I'm
5
probably going to pop 3.
Yeah, I'll go 3.
Okay.
I did 2 and I'm at 4.
Cool. Nice.
2, 5, 4.
I just did 1 and I'm actually at 4.
Nice.
Alright, that's 18.
Cool. So, you all managed to get some rest in this room, hiding away from people, some people that know you're here and some people that you've just killed. Essentially, it's not a restful rest. You're very much slightly worried about, people coming through the door. Every time you hear a noise or a footfall, you all kind of instinctively reach for weapons and look at the door, hold for a second, the breath, the tension in the room. When as footfalls leave, you kind of relax once more. However,
sorry. I'm so sorry.
you do find until someone comes in and attacks Kai. No, it's all good. After a certain amount of time, you kind of catch your breath, do your best to try and tie up some wounds and stuff, rags and things, stop the bleeding a little bit. Orthanc, you actually stitch back some stuff, just cause it's cool. And
My apron's coming off.
essentially, after about an hour, you guys feel like you're ready to start messing stuff up again.
We don't. Sorry. Just quickly, we don't regain spell slots, do we? It's long rest.
It would be in your class description. Wizards can.
Sorcerer.
Sorcerer, no.
I don't think
Yeah, I thought so. Sorry.
No, that's fine. That's an important thing to ask.
I double checked that Dain is carrying as much gold as
Oh,
he
he
can
is.
reasonably and move.
And he's not going to be able to do anything in combat, but he's
That's
got
fine. That's
He's a
fine.
dwarf.
Why don't you just stand here and we'll come back for you?
We'll forget, so he should come with us.
Yeah.
We'll probably get sucked through a portal or something.
Yeah, dimension door.
Yeah.
Okay, shall we... This wasn't door number... This was door 5.
5.
So we haven't done 4.
Correct.
We haven't done 4, and
4,
3 was barred.
And we can also go back and mess with the guys which
Yeah, we should
I think
go
the
kill
it was down anyway, right?
Yeah.
The force field thing.
Let's do that.
The Enchantress, the Golem, and the corridor didn't continue, did it?
So the corridor continues to the left.
Okay.
Even more after this.
Yep, so it's gone this way, you're here, and it goes that way.
Okay,
Alright.
shall we check around that corner and then...
Yeah, and then we should go back and bully those nerds.
Yeah. So there's any multiverse where nerds are power. Anyway, okay.
Wait, is it nerds are power? Or
Yeah.
Okay, well then that makes it sound like
He's
a
really,
currency.
he's
Like,
really trying to put
it does.
I'll trade you 3.
Mind chant and Elvish.
It's gonna catch on. The day that someone else uses it on the channel, I'm gonna beam with pride. Anyway, you guys essentially poke your heads out the door.
It's gonna be a long
I was just about
You have to add the tab unironically to it.
right, of course. As you guys peer out, it seems like the magical field around the room has still not been put back up. There's no one in the hallway.
Cool. So there was a portion of the corridor we haven't checked yet.
Yeah.
Well. Can we look around that corner?
So, essentially, as you travel around yet another left turn, you can see quite clearly a room full of bars. However, this time there's no door. In fact, it seems like you're supposed to be able to see into this room, and you realise why when there's a couple of blacksmiths, a couple of what look like mages, all chained to the wall, all bleeding heavily, all an inch within consciousness. No torturers, but you essentially look into a torture chamber.
And that's all there is?
There's another door on the left side. So there's on the right side of this corridor, there's 4 doors. On the left side, there are 2 doors.
I'm good. If that's okay with you guys, I'm going to talk to them.
Yep.
Yeah. Just ask them where their keepers are.
Okay.
You look.
Dude, please no. No more. Can't do it again. No more.
You look like you're used to that, Ollie.
Actually, can you grab my handcuffs from upstairs? the pink fluffy ones?
Oh yeah.
Oh, not the Pikachu one.
No, I need
okay.
those. Yeah.
Those are for special.
Ah, right.
No, please.
We need shoes.
I can't cast anymore.
We mean you no harm. We're only. Quickly, where are your captors?
Oh my god. Help us, please. You have to get us out of here. They'll come back. They do. Every couple of hours, as soon as we fall asleep, they come to wake us up. Knives burning. It's not good. It's not fun.
When were they last here?
A couple of hours ago.
We'll be back.
No, please, don't they? Please.
They
Let me
could
go.
help us. Alright, we're gonna. Okay.
What if we were part of the torture?
Wait, what?
What if they know we're here, right? What if we're part of the torture?
Oh, so he's saying we get inside.
We get
we
inside,
wait out,
we
we wait until
we
they come.
walk around the corner. No.
Oh.
And they're waiting for us. The
What?
torturers, right?
Oh, we pretend like we've been caught.
Well, no. Like, the torturers know we're here. Because
Okay.
they've been alerted.
Yeah.
Okay.
They know they're intruders.
Yeah.
What if they're just using us to torture them to give them hope?
But
Ah, right.
okay, yeah. I mean, the door is open, but I don't know.
There are some nerds we can.
The door
Yeah,
the door is locked. It's just, you can see through
They're
the bars.
gates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there is another door around the corridor with these bars, but the door is closed.
Correct.
Do we want to free them now, come back, or leave it be?
Leave it.
I mean, I think we should
Do you
free
still?
them.
Okay. Well, let's.
I mean, I think we should free them. I don't know if
Okay,
we,
party vote. Do we free them now? Do we free them later, or do we not free them? I say we free them.
Can we see where the captors would come from? There was
Oh, sorry.
another
Do
door,
that.
right?
Right, so essentially you've got the corridor where you came from,
Yep.
with the room with the magic field. The corridor stops here and turns left. You can see down there. It also stops and turns left.
Right. So where are these people chained up?
So they are. So the room with the gold is here. The chained room is just along this corridor, and they're about that far away from where you guys were.
And then the corridor continues on.
Correct.
Right.
So
can I ask, if we do free you, do you have any way of escaping this dimension?
dimension.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
We awoke here. I thought we were underground.
You're a wizard, right?
Harry.
Dimension door?
And there's like this little flicker. You've been asking us to cast scrying spells, things. I have no energy left.
We could hide them in the gold room.
I don't think that's how Dimension Door works, but
Well, I mean, we
It's a
could
spell
free
slot.
them.
Is that a spell slot?
fair enough.
We could free them and then just put them in the room and leave them at that.
Are there any stabby things in this room?
Oh, lots of them. Yeah.
Oh, well, we can just own them.
Yeah,
that works.
Yeah,
So.
yeah.
Alright,
Okay, I reckon we free them and take them down the corridor and put them away. Do we also want to check the other room that has bars like similar to this one, or just leave?
We don't have a way of getting into it, right?
Don't.
Yeah.
Why?
Why?
There's a horrible creature in there. Sometimes they let it out.
Is it like this? Is it like this? Is it like this?
It's a specialist.
They let it out sometimes at night instead of patrol. Sometimes I think I should just look it in the eyes. Maybe that would be better than this.
Oh,
Alright,
does it have,
Sunshine.
does
Do
it
you
have
wanna get out of
pretty
here or not?
eyes?
And he motions, and on the corner of the room, there's just this statue chained to the wall. He was my friend. He couldn't take it anymore. In the end, they all give up. I might as well.
Look, we'll get you out of here.
do you know-
We
do
just
you
don't
know
know what to do once we unchain you.
If I can rest, I can get these other two out as well.
That's the trouble. We don't know if you can rest anywhere. If you're seen gone, they're gonna come looking for you straight away.
Potions. Any of you alchemists?
Not unless you like mayonnaise or ale.
Ale, I would not turn down at this point, my friend.
I've got the quite strong dark ale. I think it was the one that was giving us hallucinations. I feel like now is a great time to pull it out.
Yep.
Sounds good.
So I will.
So
sorry.
essentially,
does anyone want to do anything while I'm just pouring these chained up people?
I'll just ask them, do you know where the keys are? Are they in this room, or do the guards have them?
God, well, the patrols have a simple but efficient goal to just kill whatever they come across. People with the keys. Oh, they use a spell. I tried to emulate it, but I couldn't.
How sturdy do the locks look?
Well, I'll tell you. Sometimes they open, sometimes they're...
The chains, sorry.
Oh, right.
Yeah, sorry.
They are just pins to the walls, heavily into stone, steel into stone, essentially. They're not magic.
Okay. So strength could essentially pull it out.
Correct.
Alright, while you're doing that, I'll give that a shot and try and pull out this
Cool.
guy's things.
Roll strength. Essentially, Gorstag goes up to the wall and finds where they connect and just pulls.
12?
They do start coming loose, but you haven't quite got it yet. It's going to take a little bit of time.
I'll keep going.
Okay,
on
so
that.
roll once more.
Well, he's taking on the chain.
That's only a 9 this time.
Okay.
Feed the guy the fucking ale.
If I should die, let it at least be with a stomach full of ale.
Any hallucinations?
Well,
And you beautiful piglets.
he essentially just kind of is somewhat quite wasted.
Yeah.
Eventually, Gorstag, after about 5-10 minutes, you manage to break these things free. He hits the ground and just collapses under the weight of his own exhaustion.
Whilst this is going on, I'm going to keep an eye out on the corridor to see if I can see anything passing.
Cool, roll perception.
Orthanc, do you want to give us a hand with the others? There's 2 other guys in the room, right?
Yeah.
That's 12.
Should we just try and do the other one?
Cool, roll some more strength.
I'll stay lookout.
Cool. Perception as well.
Up in the air,
15.
of course.
Yep.
If it wasn't
There's 10 for
stated.
me.
Cool. Sweet, you managed to break the other ones free a bit quicker. You kind of understand a bit better. Nice. So you guys see that outside, they seemingly have not replaced the patrol berserkers. There are none of them. However, in the room across from you, at intervals, you see beneath the ground, beneath the door, in the crack beneath the door, a bright glowing white light that then fades.
Is that you, Pedro?
Wait, so what was that?
me,
So that's...
That's the room directly across from you.
Oh, so we have no idea what's in that room.
Correct.
Alright. There's something in the other room opposite us.
Well, I'll poke my head back in the door and mention this to the others that something is going on across the way.
Cool.
Yeah.
So we've got all three of these guys now. Do we want to go stash them in the gold room?
Let's grab some stabby things and then
I just want to ask them. So what spells did they have you casting?
Mostly scrying spells. They wanted information, generally about crossing planes. They seemed very interested in getting into the Nine Hells. I said, that's powerful magic. Beyond my skills, but they wouldn't take that for an answer. So, they thought the best way to bring out my inner strength was to stab me and burn me until the fear of God kind of enhanced my abilities. Needless to say, that didn't quite work.
That's the orc method.
Feel pale right now. Rest easy now.
Next door. You'll find another chamber like this one. I beg of you, do not let the creature in there free, no matter what he says.
Across the way?
Yeah.
Oh.
What is it?
The-
This big? Is it this big?
What?
Is it this big? Is it this big?
The less astute would assume a human, but a cursory analysis might reveal something fangier.
Okay.
What?
Fangier.
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought he said Fanina. Or Fennia. Like a Fanny.
Just it's good.
Should we just? I guess we ignore that for now.
Yeah. All right. Cool. So I guess we'll give them the knives or whatever we grab in the room, and then go take them back down to the gold room.
Cool.
Chuck them in there, and be like, "You rest here. As soon as you're able to get out of here, you go with these dudes."
What's your name?
Gorstag.
Thank you, Gorstag. And you as well. And then they essentially just fall asleep, collapse, and fall unconscious. Soon they shall be ready, in a couple of hours to be able to cast themselves out of this place. And you've given them what little torture implements that you could find that might work as improvised weapons.
There might be better ones across the road.
There might be better ones in with those nerds.
Let's go get those damn nerds. Man.
Alright, let's go bash down that door.
Someone's ready to relive high school. Nerds of power.
Nerds of currency.
At this point, as you guys head back down towards the room with the chanters, you, I'd say Zai, you probably feel this first. Coming from the walls that are now on your right, there's just a rather unsettling hum, a slight vibration to the walls.
Okay.
Yeah. But you guys make your way down to the door which was previously protected by magical enchantments, which is no longer there. You do find just a closed door.
Is it locked?
Yeah. Oh, wait. No.
I'm.
Can anyone open that without actually touching it?
I think that's a. It's a
what
bar
kind
trick.
of handle? What kind of handle is this?
Just a brass handle.
Oh, fuck.
Standard.
Is anybody have mage hand?
No. All right. I'm gonna go into the gold room.
Yeah.
Grab the dead body, drag it out,
Sure.
and like sort of puppet the hand.
Sure.
To...
That's weird, but sure.
That's
You're
beautiful.
totally gonna do that.
I'm feeling very uncomfortable.
So essentially, the men that you've freed awake from their now much needed slumber.
Excuse me, I need
and
this.
point weapons.
Sleep time, yeah.
And as you pull the decapitated body of this creature, leaving a trail of blood,
Oh, I've
all
got a
just
scimitar
shake with
actually. I
fear.
can like cut off the.
It's for research.
I like to imagine that we just open, don't say anything, and just stare them down.
And
Just
just
like
go,
stick the body
sleep.
through the door first.
They're just, he's just puppeteering with them. He's just they're like.
Don't get me started. I've done meat puppeteering in previous game.
They eventually, very confused, go back to sleep.
Okay.
Yeah, you drag the body, you open the door opens, there's no enchantment or crap.
Still worth it. Just
So inside the room, what you see is the enchanters have gone back to their work. They're now muttering a bit quieter, casting a spell.
how many?
5. Essentially, you see them all wearing robes with these dark runes, dark colours, dark blacks and blues and such. They're not wearing armours, they're wearing cloths. The spell that they're casting is an Elvish. And again, it's words like break through, free us, let us through. And in the centre of this room, there's this paper-thin, like, crack in the air. And this light kind of trail. And just through the crack, you just hear whisperings and such. And as they chant more, you can see the crack very slowly opening and widening slightly.
How many people are in here chanting?
5.
have they noticed us?
That's a good question. Who poked their head through the door first? Cool. Roll some stealth.
Where the it's over there. That's 11.
DC 12.
Fuck.
They do. They turn and they see you. One's just going to cast Firebolt. They're going to roll to hit. They're not going to hit. They cast another one. Mage hands the door closed.
I guess.
You then hear them go back to chanting.
Can they mage hand when I'm holding it?
They can try strength against strength.
Yeah. No.
Okay.
I rolled a 2.
Slam.
Can I push the door open a fraction and then instantly cast fireball?
Fireball.
Yeah.
Oh, baby!
I've
I've been waiting to hear those sweet words for so
Trust
long.
me, I've been waiting.
You've
I've been counting
saving.
my sweet time. Yeah,
So-
I just want to hear those 3 words. I cast fireball.
Say those 3 words and I'm yours.
Yeah.
Cast Firebolt. Fuck yeah.
Oh yes.
He whispers in my ear, candies.
So half of me is going, well, I want them to roll to see if they can counter it.
Yeah.
The other half of me is going, I just want to see this. Roll to hit.
Okay. Well, it's not.
It's
They-
me
it's
making
not
the
even a
deck
hit.
saves, isn't it?
It's yeah.
What is the DC of the deck? What?
14.
14. Yeah.
Okay. Alright. This is going to be fun. Alright.
Each creature in a 20-foot radius. Well, I'm guessing we're in cover because of the door.
Yeah. Okay, so what is it?
Each creature must make a dex saving throw against
Yeah.
14.
Okay.
If they
Okay.
succeed, they take half.
Okay. Dex. So success, fail.
And that's
Alright.
8d6.
Alright.
Can I borrow
Yes!
some
So-
d6?
Essentially, the door opens once more.
Oh, it's 86, not 68.
Yeah.
How many do you need?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I need 2 more.
Essentially, the door opens.
Do you want the middle one?
They turn to go and close it. Instead, this hand just reaches through the crack.
Excuse me!
Okay, let's start counting.
You've got a
Oh, you're
calculator
fine.
somewhere, I think.
That's 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh wait, no, that's 4, 5, 7, 9, 14, 19.
19. So 8 points for those who saved, 19 for those who don't. The flame erupts, and as it does, their concentration on the spell they're casting fails. The blinking crack just kind of dissipates. They all stand. All of them are still, not dead. None of them died from that. They all stand. They turn, and one of them just says, Do you have any idea how long we were working on that for?
Over an hour.
You know what the funny thing is? I can cast Fireball 3 times.
Do
You
wanna
know
do
what
it
you
again?
should do?
Sorcerers.
I'm
Cast fire.
How big is the room that
Pretty small, about 30 feet.
Alright.
Oh, wow.
They're not being put in nice conditions. They're being put in a room to do a certain thing.
Are they looking aggressive at us?
They just look generally upset that you've interrupted their spellcast.
What are you trying to do?
You're not one of them, are you?
Depends who them is.
Yeah, what them?
Well, the guards.
We're here to kill Nemesis, so you know that kind of puts us on whatever side that is.
They all start whispering. One of them just, "Are you serious?"
Yeah?
He rushes to the door and he motions for you guys in. Still charged.
It's a trap. Yeah. All right, I'll go.
Cool. The rest of you?
Yep.
I've been hurt before, but I walk in slowly.
And
Yeah,
they
I
close the door.
cautiously.
Cool. They close the door behind you.
Crossbows out.
Well, best of luck to you. He took us in the dead of night, threatened to kill our families unless we were able to transpose reality, break through. He wants access to the planes, all of them. It's no easy task. Ritual casts spells. He won't let us sleep. He just keeps feeding us mana potions to keep our arcane energies flowing. I've been up for 3 days. It's not fun. He wants to cross. He wants to travel into each of the dimensions, and I assume bring things back to fight with him.
Can I inside check that?
Sure can. What's your bonus?
Not a whole lot. It's 2.
Cool. So there's a genuine look of fear on his face. You recognise that. You're not entirely sure if he's fearful of Nemesis or fearful of the adventurers that had just stepped into the room. You also see an innate distrust, possibly because he's just been fireballed, but a slight hope as well that maybe you guys can help.
We can.
Some of his hair still singed.
Yeah.
You know, we've already freed some prisoners, and they are currently resting. I think if you band together, you might all stand a much, much greater chance of getting out of here. While we go and off, big boy.
Well, please.
Your boy.
The thing is, he draws his power from the Lords of Violence. Each one that stands aids him in combat.
That's why we killed some of them.
You were the
All of them?
All of them? Everyone.
Well, Kuldeo.
Coltea is the only one left.
Wait. You were the ones that killed the Ogre King.
Yeah.
Shit. They brought his body back. He's in one of the rooms. They're trying to resurrect him.
Oh, do you know which room?
The corner, and he points down the hallway you guys just came from.
Do you know how do we get to Nemesis?
Well, he never strays too far from the cage where he keeps his dragon. It's a floor up, I think. He has a room. When he brings someone, if he wishes to fight them rather than just kill them, that's where he takes them. He calls it the arena.
Is that up there too?
That's on the next floor up.
Okay. How do we get up there?
The staircase, if you go, and he points down the corridor you just came, and points left, it's a very heavy door.
I like heavy things.
You look like you do. They are now going about kind of healing the wounds that they've taken. They don't actually pain too much. I understand, and they're just kind of like healing their wounds.
Does Nemesis have the only key to the dragon as far as you know?
Yes.
To the cage? Right, well that sounds like it'll make everything a lot easier.
I noticed, was it a humming? I noticed a humming on the way through. Some kind of, I'm guessing magic, was emanating throughout the castle. Can you tell me what this is by any chance?
We felt that too. Flickering of arcane. We're not sure what it does. I think there may be some other mages working on other projects within these walls. I'm sorry, I can't. I don't.
Rest easy now.
We have to go back to work. You understand? If he comes in and we're not casting, he'll kill us. But we'll try not to succeed.
Why don't you use your magic to leave?
It's this plane. It's beyond my capabilities. I have a few spells, but
There are some fire gates, you know?
yes.
Yeah.
Yes, he brought us through. Made sure we were conscious. I think he reaches into his cloak and pulls out a small vial. The mana potions. I think there's an inhibitor inside. So it grants us certain spell slots and not others.
Right.
Well, I think the other guy we had didn't have that problem, so he's going to be casting a dimension door out of here in an hour when he's rested up. If you want to go with him.
Perhaps he might also be a benefit.
I'll try my best to get everyone out of here, and I hope so much that you are victorious. I've seen. I just hope.
Any quick and helpful tips for not dying to Nemesis?
If you see a snake, avert your gaze.
Like the ones that rain down, or big ones?
The large ones.
Okay. So this big.
You don't want a snake in your eye.
Do you know any
Snake in
ways?
the eye is worth 2 in the wait.
It's worth 2 in the anywhere else.
Alright, well, best of luck to you.
To you.
Should we lead them to the other room?
Yeah. Do you want to come with us, or are you going to stay here?
We're not strong enough to fight.
Okay, band together with the others that were saved from torture.
Are there any others like you that need to be freed within the
Probably.
vicinity?
Probably.
Okay.
We're mostly kept to focus on our own work.
How long have you been here?
It's hard to tell. A week, maybe more.
Okay. Let's take them to that room where we've got the others.
Cool. So these guys are less weakened. They're tired. They've been up for days, but they still have their arcana, which kind of keeps them, alive. You take them down the hall and put them into the room with the other guys who, once again, freak out and then relax. As they enter the room, they start discussing, swapping information of what they know of this place.
Dying people. These are the nerds. Dying people.
Eventually, they close the door and wish you very good luck. They're going to stay within here, and once they're rested up, they're going to try and spell their way out of the stage.
I'm going to mention to them to be aware, but also be careful, because if we run into anyone else, we'll also send them in this direction.
Okay. They thank you very much. You notice that the humming and the vibration is still quite consistent. There are no more berserkers patrolling yet, it seems. What would you guys like to do?
I want to go see the ogre king.
Yeah, I want to say something about that. Yeah.
So, essentially...
I mean, I don't know what it is, so let's... Okay.
So you come up to the door, which intermittently there is a flash of white light coming from beneath the door.
Ah, this is the fanged one door.
No.
No?
No, that's directly next to the cages. This is across the
Okay.
hall.
Yeah, this is across the hall.
This is the one. This is the one that the guy said don't go to because it looks like a human, but it's
No.
not.
No,
no,
that's
no. Oh,
the
was that?
one I meant.
Yeah.
That's next door.
Yeah.
Oh, is it? Okay, so.
So the cage with the guys is here.
Yeah.
The room that you've been told not to enter is there.
Okay.
And the room with the light is on the other side of the
Okay.
hallway.
Should we try to make our way into this room door then, or just continue on?
Yeah, I reckon. Yes.
Cool. Perception.
19.
Cool. You essentially hear what sound like the voices of gnomes being shouted at with the sound of essentially a human kind of military, look, bring him back and I won't break any more bones. And then you just hear gnomes trying to cast things like Revivify, Greater Restoration, all that kind of stuff. Occasionally you hear, look, it's not possible, his head was cut off, look, I don't care how long it takes, you just do it.
Oh man, I want to fucking storm in there so bad.
Wait.
Do we want to plan? Because I'm just...
Does Dain?
Planning though.
Does Dain have the head of the golem? I mean the.
He had it for a while.
Okay.
Does he
I
still
watched
have
up. I watched up until that point.
Yeah.
I feel like it was quite a while ago. He never said anything about getting it preserved or anything.
You know, it'd be really funny is if Dain kicks down the door, tosses it in, like, oh, I think you forgot something. Okay, shall we get ready for battle then?
I think so.
Or do we want to just try to be like, walk in and be like,
No, there's one big bad guy who is not going to compromise.
Alright.
I feel.
Let's do it.
Roll strength.
I will. Oh, is the door locked?
Oh, right. Yes.
Okay.
Well, you can try knocking and then surprise him when he...
Yeah.
Oh, that's fucking brilliant.
Can I do I'll do like a
Yeah.
Alright, I'm above the door.
friendly knock.
Yeah, what the
Stand
hell is
outside
that?
with my axe.
Yeah.
So you're greeted as the door swings open by a rather pungent human, tall, battle-worn, unbathed. What do you want? And that's what we're going to take a 5-10 minute break, and then we will return with yet another room of blood and torture. So, thank you guys. Go and refill your drinks and grab more snacks. We will be back in 5-10 minutes with more Black Winter Nights. Thank you for coming with us.
Nice.
Oh, do you want me to do something?
Yeah.
No.
Thank you, Dave.
I kind of want to bring
Hello and welcome back to Black Winter Nights here on the D20 Multiverse with myself, Oliver Dungeon Master, and my lovely players, the Black Winter Knights. Where last we left the party, they had been traversing through the lair, the obelisk, the Castle of Eternity, in the pocket dimension that Lord Nemesis, King of the Lords of Violence, had constructed to build his armies and meet the exquisitely dark means of his operation. The party themselves had just secured the room, or found the room wherein they were attempting to resurrect the Ogre King, one of the 4 lords that Nemesis rules over. They had heard gnomish mages trying to revivify this creature, stating explicitly that it cannot be done, and being met with nothing but grunts and non-acceptance by their taskmaster. As they knocked on the door, they found themselves face to face with this man, and I do believe a surprise attack was made, so roll the hit.
Do I have advantage?
Yes.
Yes. I'm gonna crit him with Great Weapon Master. Come on.
If you can do it again, I'll be impressed.
Just call that crit. 2 crits I'm calling right now.
Purple one's gonna crit.
Purple one crit!
Wow.
Wow.
It's true. It's true. It's not making it up.
Oh my
The
god.
bard has the magic.
Okay. I will give you 5 experience points if your next sentence is Oliver is going to win the lotto.
Oliver is gonna win the lotto.
Yes. All right. 5 experience points.
I'll note that down later.
That's the second crit you called it right.
I know,
I
what
want
the
to point
fuck?
that out.
That,
That's
he
crazy.
even called the right dice. He had
Yeah.
advantage and he
Can you
called the
also
right
say
dice.
that Dave's gonna win his scratchy that he's about to scratch?
Dave's gonna win his scratchy what?
That he's about to scratch.
That he's about to scratch.
Cool.
Can you tell me that my parents are going to be proud of me one day?
Parents already are proud of it.
They just don't want to show it.
I'll have a fulfilling lifestyle that'll end in happiness.
Fulfilling lifestyle and
Can you also bless our
Thanks,
wonderful
Max.
viewers, including Leonard?
Sorry, can I
Can you
what?
just bless them? Can you just say I bless the viewers of...
Oh, I bless the Leonard and other people as well.
Oh, like, now all his magic is gone. Damn it.
Yeah.
Well, worth it. I win the lotto. I will give you $1 million. if I
Get a
win the
wish.
lotto.
Wow, thanks. I'll hold you to that.
Ah,
No,
you
that's
save it
true.
for later.
It's like,
because I'm
like
perfect
38
enough
million. I will
already.
give you $1 million. if I win the lotto. Anyway.
Okay, so I
Back to Dungeons and Dragons.
Got
So,
my wife and husband.
Destroy this guy, basically.
Dave, remember, a $2 win is still a win.
Let's see.
So this is going to be the crit one.
Free chicken is still
He's
So
still
that's
bringing his
4,
back,
so
yeah.
that's 8.
Can you double crit?
Can I double crit?
Yeah. So can you roll and crit again?
I mean, I do have a second attack because I crit him.
Yeah, but
So-
that's what I mean is if you
Can you crit
roll,
twice? Yeah.
can you roll and crit again?
You
Can
can.
you
because
like
critted?
chain crits?
Yeah.
That's
no,
amazing.
it's a bonus action. After
Oh,
you.
right.
Oh, okay.
So that's 8 plus 7 is 15, plus 3 is 18,
Yep.
plus 10 is 28.
Nice.
And then my second attack, also Great Weapon Master, I won't crit. That's a 9.
Okay. Just not hit.
You're beating a corpse at this point. Like,
Oh, he's still alive. He's still alive.
Okay.
Do I get a sneak attack too? I was like,
No, at this
near
point he
above
sees you and he fights.
I was
He
like,
fights
yeah,
back.
what's he got to do? Look up after opening the door?
Well, he's just had an axe buried in his chest.
Yeah.
He's not going to look up from the axe.
Yeah.
wow, that is amazing.
Yeah, fair enough.
That was especially because you called that guy.
Yeah, that was.
Okay, so
Wow.
how much damage was that?
38? 28.
28. Sorry, I was
28.
reading over.
So
Yeah,
I'm
Jesus.
still holding the highest
Yeah.
damage.
Essentially, what do you want? Oh, mother of... And you want to roll this?
Oh boy.
I've lost my pen.
And I'm at 21.
And
No.
Okay. So, 20 to 25.
Mm-hmm.
21. 15 to 20.
19.
Oh, not too far.
Oh, sorry, modified 21. My bad.
Oh, you did
My
have
bad.
21. You were 21. Oh my fucking god.
Cool. 15 to 20. 10 to 15.
10?
What's your dex?
Plus
I'll
2.
go first.
10.
As I cut him with my axe, I'd also like to say, I think I left my ogre in here.
And Gorstag.
Amazing.
Okay, Zeed. First action.
Yep, alright. Well, this is essentially my sneeze. I'll fire off 2 arrows. Yeah, it's
Roll
great.
the hit.
I don't have the HP, so.
So, from over the head of Orthanc, an arrow sails into the room.
Cool. Lowest one there is a 19. So
That hits,
they
roll
both
damage.
hit. 2d6. He takes 10, 16 damage from 2 attacks.
Cool.
They're both at 8.
Okay.
Each. If he's got like damage reduction. Last attack, 17 to hit. Yes.
That hits, roll damage.
That would be a 4.
He kind of looks down. Child's play. Ugh.
The last one does 4 damage. It really is child's play.
Alright. I'll kill you first. But, Zai, you're first up. Kai,
Ooh,
why don't
okay.
you keep doing that? I even wrote it down as Zai and then changed it to Kai and then said Zai.
Don't worry.
20 feet in the
It's
air.
you, Oliver. I'll let you get away with anything. Well, to be
Alright.
honest, it could be either way.
Yeah,
Um,
I think we may have to just change it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm okay with it.
Yeah, Oliver's definitely not going to learn at this point. Let's just accept that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, he's got Aarakocra. There is a chance.
That's right, I have that
That,
roll.
that is a very good point.
No,
Yeah,
yeah.
he didn't. He screwed it up.
Arkansas. There you go.
Aarakocra. Anyway, roll to hit.
Yeah, I'm gonna fireball.
Nice.
That's an 11.
Does not hit.
Yep.
It comes scorching towards him and he just ducks it. A couple of the gnomes that are still in the room kind of scatter out of the way as the fire hits the wall behind them. They themselves kind of realize this may be a good opportunity and they're going to join the initiative and try and fight the Overlord.
Nice.
However, he is first up and Zeed, he is going to keep true to his word and attack you with
With?
Reckless. He's going to throw his great axe.
He's throwing it at me? Cool.
Yeah.
Alright. Cool, we're getting this.
Woof! And looses it. That is
15.
21.
Cool. That is definitely not 15.
So that is 15 points of slashing damage
Oh, thank God.
as he hits you with pretty much the most he can do. And hits the bird as the bird is conscious.
No.
Poof, and the bird falls from the sky. And the,
No. I'm not.
I said, are you conscious?
Oh, I thought you said, are you not conscious?
Right, no. I said, are you, so, okay. So
Am I
hits you-
conscious? Yes.
Okay, instead, it spirals its way through the centre of your being, cutting you as it goes, and it lands
12.
across the other side of the way. He's now just going to try and use his fists. However, that's his turn. Orthanc, you're up.
Oh.
Or ET, as it seems to be.
E.T. crit with axe.
Don't use all your magic.
So he currently has no weapon?
Correct. He's
Um,
throwing it, landed behind you
I think it's time to suplex someone.
guys. Alright.
So I'm gonna roll some athletics to
Yeah, I'm just going to roll straight strength. Ooh, 17.
20.
Nice.
Oh,
Modified.
So you rush forward and grab his hands, and with one motion, woof, get them behind his back and locked in place. Anything else?
I'm pretty happy with how this is going. So
Right.
It's my ogre in here!
Awesome. Now, at this point,
No.
let me think. One of the gnomes is going to cast Vicious Mockery, I think. Is the
yes!
one. Essentially,
I love it.
this gnomish creature takes a few steps forward and says, "Your useless form is nothing. Your power is shit. You have no power here. Prepare to die." And the words just get right into this guy's brain, and he kind of just twitches at the sound
You
of
sure
it.
that wasn't Course of Nightmares?
This is the start of a diss track. Just wait till the others kick in.
He rolls a
Your
4,
fat.
and just. He's going to take the damage.
I wouldn't put it past Oliver to put his mixtape in on.
Yeah. Cool. Alright.
It would just be passenger.
Yeah, or Sound of Silence. Essentially, he just in this rage, he starts scratching at his own head, trying to get the thought. He kind of like tries to. He kind of let his hand go forward as he's kind of just scratching at his head, trying to get the thought and trying to get it out. And his face is just being like torn to shreds. He takes quite a lot of damage. That's what they're going to do. Orthanc, you're up. Right, that's not right. Sorry, I was looking at the wrong one.
That'd be me.
Gorstag, you're up.
Can I, as a free action, I might just like duck my head into the room and see what's happening?
Yeah, sure.
Can I do that first?
Absolutely. So, inside the room, you find the decapitated body of the Ogre King. 5 gnomish creatures, all with all spellcasters that, yes, have been trying to bring him back despite the fact that he's been dead for too long to use Revivify. The guy who has been tasking him to do this seemingly does not care about the rules of the arcane because you should be able to do it if you focus hard enough.
Well, I'm going to I'll attack that guy.
Alright, roll it.
Nat 20.
Oh,
Oh,
baby!
man.
Oh baby.
Alright.
Alright, I take back
successful
what I
roll
said
for the
earlier.
day.
That is the good
So
time.
that's going to be 7, 14 plus 2. That's going to be 16 points of damage.
So,
Ooh.
essentially, Gorstag pokes his head around the door, turns back to the guy, and lops his head clean off.
Ooh.
That is a death, and he falls to the ground.
Nice.
The gnomes, however, all fall to their knees and bow their little major heads and say, "Thank you, sir. Thank you greatly. By what name shall we call you?"
You're the hero!
Well, as I did this all by myself. Gorthag.
Gorthag. The name's Gorthag.
Gorstag, even. I should probably get my own name right. Gorstag.
Gorthag's the.
I thought you did that
Good man.
deliberately.
I did not at all. I did not at all.
Gorstag. Name of Gorstag the Freer. Gorstag, the betrayer of evil. Okay. Let's start like
Yeah,
let's start.
remarkable.
But
Yeah,
the credit doesn't belong to me, but it belongs to Paladin.
No.
It
essentially,
belongs to all of us.
essentially, the gnomes walk up to the decapitated head. One of them picks it up, looks at Dead in the cold eyes, and just says, "You can't cast Revivify if he's been dead for more than a minute!" and throws it to the side and bundles into the side.
You
of the
tell him, little man.
wall. What do you need? How can we help?
Can any of you heal?
Yes. Someone step forward.
My bird was attacked by a savage with an axe.
So that would be healing. What's the one healing? Touch.
Cure wounds.
Cure wounds for 9 points of
Nine.
Nice.
Alright. Sweet.
I assume you're here to take off the Dark King.
Yes.
Oh, best of luck. And he's going to cast Guidance. So it's a D4 to any attack.
Guidance,
Oh,
guidance,
D4.
guidance, and then just, yeah.
Nah, 4 guidances.
It's like, I cast healing on you, you don't get another spell.
Actually, thank you, but there is one other thing. We
Sure.
have freed a number of people who were being slaves and who were tortured here.
It's a lot of them.
Some of them are dying and are looking to make their way out.
Where are they?
Well, back in a room full of gold.
Aren't they? Oh, yeah, we've seen them down
We
there.
look after them.
Are you guys at full?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
one last thing.
They have
I've got a little bit of a hole in my chest.
Yep, that is 11 points of healing. One more thing. This may be
Nice.
useful. He scurries past you, and he goes down the corridor just to the next room along, where you find a very, very heavy door. No key, no lock. This one's solid metal. However, he just kind of closes his eyes, and yeah, it starts. Just little sounds of and eventually opens to a staircase leading upwards.
Oh my god.
Speed! And he runs back to the room of gold to look after the other
He
person.
did
My
manage
hero.
to get a taste of his diss track, mix track on the... There you go.
I had it in the sounds of the door. Yeah. There you
Sorry.
go.
Not very well.
They seemingly have
Oh.
You did it.
Alright, well, I'm gonna...
It was a good
I'm gonna
mixed track.
scooch over here.
It was a good mixed track, but you didn't hide it very well.
Anyway, yes, seemingly he has unlocked the door to the staircase.
Cool.
They run back to the room of the gold, and you hear them lock the door from within. After some time, they've been given the same inhibitors for Dimension Door spells, but they're going to rest and hope to shrug off the effects and get everyone out of there as soon as they can.
Cool.
Can I quickly loot the guy on the ground?
Oh yes, roll. Investigation.
3.
Okay, you don't find anything on him, unfortunately. Again,
Except the sweet satisfaction of murder.
yeah. Essentially, these guys have just been given what they need to kill, and very little else.
Cool. What about the ogre
Roll
king?
Yeah.
more investigation.
I was about to say.
18.
Okay. Give me a sec.
He's been dead for so long, and yet you still...
Did,
still
Alright,
searching his
it did leave
You
something.
find a vial of brightly green liquid.
Ooh. I won't drink it straight away.
Yeah.
Cool. Can I take off a pinky?
Sure.
I'll do that.
The pinky is more like a thumb kind of thing, the size of it. That you just kind of saw through and dead flesh through the bone, and now you've got it.
Sweet. I'll pocket that and make a necklace later.
Nice.
I'm just watching with eyes raised, like...
I knew I'd parked my ogre somewhere.
It's in this room. You can actually hear the humming and the vibration more powerfully in this room. It seems to be coming through the wall on the inside of the room.
I'm gonna go up and like sort of tap on the wall.
Cool.
Sort of like
Yep. So,
see if it's sort of like hollow sort of thing.
cool. So it looks like stone as you. Yeah, it's hollow.
Is it?
Strong guy. Do you
we-
want to punch it?
Me? I mean, do we know that that's like a room that there's a door from the corridor? Like, is it, would that match up with the door that's on, on the corridor or outside?
No, so essentially it seems as if the corridors go like this.
Yeah.
And the rooms adorn the inside of this.
Yeah.
And then there's a further space.
And that's where the humming goes.
Yeah.
Do you want me to cast Detect Magic first, or should we just go in? I don't care either way.
Don't like humming.
Well, then you should not
It's
go to any
your-
jazz
it's
or
your
country concert
character.
whatsoever.
If you want to cast Detect Magic, go ahead. It's not going to hinder him breaking the wall in any way.
Where what's on the other
Wait,
side?
I
Mine,
can't
if there's
actually.
something bad.
It won't affect me because it won't help that much because I can't cast through.
Okay, we'll check the wall, and then I can break the wall, and it's a concentration spell, right? So you can-
Yeah, you just keep it running. Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll cast Detect Magic then.
Okay. So I believe you just don't have to roll for that.
It's just I just
and you learn the spell of magic. Is that correct?
I can see the aura of any magical item or person or thing essentially.
And the
That isn't
school of
blocked.
magic, if he focuses
That
on
isn't
it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Cool.
I just
So you
get
kind of
So
just
it's
like
like,
focus.
if it's magic, and then like after a minute or something,
It's around.
after a round, you get the School of Magic.
Okay. So you're going to close your eyes and focus and put your hand onto the web of the arcane lines and try and just find the shimmering attentions of magics around. Through the wall, the humming kind of intensifies as you push your own arcane energy towards it. But you can't really tell too much through the wall.
Alright, well, I'll just gesture for you guys to go ahead and hit it and I'll keep concentrating.
Roll some strength.
Can I, should we both roll strength or
Yeah.
should I just give it
Up to you.
advantage?
Up to you.
You
Also,
do it with advantage. So.
We have
Go
guidance though,
And you
don't
do
we?
have guidance.
Would that affect? Okay, I don't know. So
Yeah.
It's for any ability check. You can add a d4 after the roll if you choose to. For 10 minutes.
14 on the strength check.
It's a stone cold wall, so you make some cracks, but it's not quite there.
Is it like wood disguised to look like stone, or?
No, it looks like stone, just not very thick stone.
Oh, okay, I see.
Like a layer of brick
Yeah.
rather than like 3 layers of brick.
Correct.
Right.
So takes you a little bit of time. With the 14, eventually you crack through it. As the bricks kind of fall away, they kind of crumble at your weapon, which goes back and it's held. Through, you can see you see this really bright aura shining through the crack in the wall, seemingly around what is maybe a 50-foot orb that's just kind of floating. And as the wall breaks away, you see and the vibrations of this thing actually start, like the little bits of stone on the ground start dancing as the vibration from this thing comes into the room, and the humming just really gets quite loud.
Can you tell what school?
yeah, can I make an Arcana check to see what it is?
Yeah.
That's 17.
Okay. So essentially, you try and focus on what's going on inside the orb. There's not too much within it, but you can sense fire magic, very powerful fire magic within it, and you get the sense. In fact, you can feel that it's attached to a being. It's got some kind of tie to a living creature. And as your hands kind of come away, you realize that it's a bomb.
Bomb.
Mhm.
The
Arcane
orb is,
bomb.
or the,
The orb is a giant arcane bomb.
and it's attached to something in the other plane.
Correct. No, sorry. It's attached to a creature.
Okay.
And is tied to a creature's life force.
Ah.
Can you guess who?
Can you guess who? It's a mystery.
Does the person wear a hat?
Yeah. I'll mention to the others
Your
that.
person ride a dragon.
I'll mention to the others and I'll be like, oh well, I think it's connected to MSI.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My nemesis.
So what would happen if I touched it?
I mean, I was just going to use throwing rocks until something happens.
Yeah. Or do we want to set off a huge arcane bomb?
Hey man, we blow up this realm, right?
Yeah, what's this round ever done for us?
Yeah.
It's been pretty fun.
Yeah, that's true.
It has been pretty fun. Is there any way to siphon the energy out of the orb?
Oh, it's very high level arcana.
Could I try?
You can try.
Alright. I'm gonna give it a go.
Okay.
I don't have Dispel Magic.
I know.
That's a 12?
Okay. As soon as you try and put any arcane energy towards it, it just kind of repels.
Okay.
You feel like if you were actually to touch it, it might explode.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll give you this green liquid. It might be pee.
Oh, who knows?
No, you know what we could do? Drag everyone down here. We make like a scene in the upper levels. Pull everyone down into this level and then blow it up. Sacrificing our lives, but saving the world in the process.
I can't enjoy my mayonnaise jug if I'm
Yeah.
It's been so much.
How do you know where you'll go?
You have so much to live for. That jug.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
You got either that jug.
If anything, you deserve to live, and Paylor.
That jug.
Paylor needs you.
And mayonnaise.
Because mayonnaise and the sun go together.
I mean, he pretty much made this entire plane. Like, we don't know how powerful this is.
Yeah.
It could literally wipe out
The entire
the
plane.
entire plane.
Which is what I'm hoping for. Because he's probably on this plane, right?
What do you think, Dain?
I think
No thoughts. No thoughts. Okay.
I can't talk with all this gold in me mouth.
Strong but silent type, I see.
Can we?
He's still bitter because he's the only one that didn't get guidance before. Other people did.
Guidance on carrying all that coin.
Alright, so should we just ignore it for now, keep mind of it, and keep going? So I tried to push Arcane into it. Could I try to siphon Arcane from it?
Sure, roll it.
You don't have Identify, do you?
No, unfortunately. That's a nat 1, so no, I'm not going to.
Ooh, in fact, as you bring any arcane once again close to it, you feel it kind of repel or act against it.
Okay. Well, I'm just going to ignore it.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll just mention to the others that there's currently no way of getting around it.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
So I mean, I guess if we continue on though, we're quite likely to fight Nemesis pretty soon. And unless I misread what's going on here, this is connect to him. So if he dies, this whole thing blows up.
Yeah. So we don't know how long. Can I tell how long it would take from the creature's life force to die to the thing going off? Based on Arcana?
You can roll a kind of one more time.
Yes.
I'm going to inspire you!
What's that?
D8.
Okay. That's
guidance, or have you already used guidance?
Can I use guidance on top of everything?
Guidance is a D8, you rolled a D10.
Oh, okay.
Guidance is a D4.
Yeah.
Inspiration.
Inspiration to D8.
That was even worse. Alright, so that's modified 20.
The only thing you notice is the faint sound of ticking from within it.
Oh, so it is a time.
So it's
thing.
timed.
I may be slightly psychotic, and if I were to design a big torture tower that had a bomb that would go off if I died, I would make that a trap with my other traps, and so people would think it would be when I die, but it's actually when something else dies, and I have an escape plan.
That makes sense.
Like my
So
big
what
fluffy
if-
dragon.
Yes, okay.
What if we throw the Ogre King's body at it and run?
What do we gain from this?
Entire plane of
The entire plane exploding.
We
and
could-
being
we
destroyed.
could-
Where do we run to?
No, hold on.
The teleporting guys.
Okay, look. We could essentially, hopefully, free everyone else, right? And if the mages can keep Dimension Door open long enough, trigger the bomb and make our way and wiping out the plane of existence.
Dimension Door, the way it works is you can only bring yourself and one creature with you
Yeah.
of equal or smaller size.
Why don't we
Only
just see
up
if
to
the
500
actual
feet,
like
though.
magic expert dudes are still there in that room, then ask them what their opinion is.
Sounds good to me.
I don't know that we have much more to learn. I think if it is tied to a life force, like you say, the other thing we can do is simply not kill them. Just beat them within an inch of their life, knock them out, take them somewhere
that
else.
would be hard.
Then
The issue is which creature.
If
If it's
it's a-
Nemesis himself, then
Well, it's not Nemesis though.
well, it could be
It
Like,
could
but
be.
why
We
would
don't
you?
know.
Why would you trigger something to explode when you die? If you
because you have nothing to live for.
No,
So
but
you
he
want to wipe out
does.
whoever kills you.
He's like a lich. He's going to come back, and if the plane that his phylactery,
I don't know.
has
That's what
been
I'm saying. Is
completely
we don't
destroyed.
we
what if
don't
his
know.
phylactery is not there? You know.
It could be tied to a golem roaming on the outside. That's the issue, because we don't know what it is. So I think we should ignore it for now.
I agree.
Because there's nothing we can essentially do to it.
Oh, we can touch it.
Well,
Touch it.
go ahead, yeah. Feel free. Let's just back outside and just watch as it happens. But I say we ignore it for now. We don't know how powerful it is. And
Alright, no, we do
seems
have a
quite
get out of jail free card, well, without it being free, but we're doing this. Alright.
Let's just make a suicide pact. If everyone else dies, someone goes and triggers this.
Yep, I got 50-foot fly speed.
Yeah.
Alright, cool. So, going up the stairs?
Yeah.
Sounds good to me, yeah? Yep.
Alright. So you guys make your way away from the sound of the humming, which gradually decreases as you walk up a ridiculously long staircase. In fact, it seems uncommonly long. Whoever designed this place did not have fatigue in mind when he designed it, as you wander for what feels like hours up a spiral staircase hidden behind a very heavy door. After the veins in your legs start pumping acid from being overworked, eventually you get to what seems to be the top of the staircase. In front of you, a door.
Okay.
2 doors, sorry. One in front of you where the stairs stop, and one to the right.
Do the doors look identical?
No, the one to the right is a lot heavier.
Can I listen at each door?
Sure can. So, roll perception.
Purple is left door. That's a 1. The right door is a 14.
Okay. So the first door you listen through, you can't get too much of a sense of what's going on. The second door is actually more silent than the first. It seems completely devoid of sound.
They said that there was an arena up here, didn't they?
Yeah.
On the second floor.
Does the silence seem out of place with the rest of the area? Does it seem like it could be like a magical silence because we've heard noises everywhere else?
Could be.
Do we... Oh, well, detect magic, but I have one level 1 spell slot remaining. I don't mind, because I've already cast Mage Armor on myself, and instead of Burning Hands I can do other things. But do I want to use... Actually, what am I on about? Because I can... Okay, I'm going to cast Detect Magic.
Okay.
Because I can turn sorcery points, which I haven't used so far,
Yeah.
into spell slots.
Oh, nice.
All right.
Yeah.
So essentially, Kai once again lowers his head, puts out his hand. You sense through the steel and through the wood, very powerful arcana. In fact, you get the sense of a very large creature.
Okay.
Is it the heavy door or the less heavy door?
Through the heavy door.
Okay. And that was the one you heard silence from?
Yes.
Okay.
So, dragon?
Dragon?
Yeah.
Dragon?
Yeah.
And do I sense anything from the other door?
What's the range?
60 feet, I think. I'll just double check that. Actually, my phone's over there.
I'll look up
It's
what-
30 feet.
Player's handbook.
It's
30
30 feet?
30 feet.
Yeah.
Then no.
Okay. I can speak dragon, but
You can speak Draconic?
draconic. Yeah.
Alright.
So I can speak draconic, but at the same time, if this is a dragon on the other side of the door, right, then presumptively it's extremely loyal to its master, right?
Dragons have no masters.
Well,
How good at sweet talking dragons are you?
well, it depends on how you play your cards. It
He's
depends on
not
how I
bad,
play my
but
cards.
he's almost there.
With guidance and maybe some inspiration, we could probably just make it pass. But do we want to avoid the dragon, or presumptively dragon, or do we want to push through this large, arcanic, unknown creature?
If it is the dragon,
Yeah,
and if it is loyal to its master,
that's presumptively.
why is it locked in a cage that only one person has a key to?
The other thing is if we combat the dragon, it might also be tied to the bomb.
We can always choose to knock it
kill
out.
Yeah.
That is always a
Non-lethal
choice.
damage.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So
I
then,
mean, maybe not with magic.
shall we just, instead of breaking, can I tell if the doors are magic? If there's any
Yeah.
enchantments on the doors?
Yeah, definitely.
Doors?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't have anything to dispel or nullify magic. However, perhaps we could just knock on the door.
They worked so well just before.
Yeah.
You've got the perfect knock for it.
Just confidence.
Yeah.
Well,
Confidence and politeness are their own kinds of magic.
That should be on a t-shirt.
So what door are we looking at going? The dragon door?
Do
or
we
the other
want to go through the unknown door, or the silent door, or the door with the big dragon? Or was that
Silent door is the
silent
one
door
with
was
the
the dragon?
dragon.
Okay. Should we go through the dragon door then? Or do we want to go through the one that we don't know what it is?
Wait. There was a magical creature, and you said you could tell it was large.
Yeah.
Could you tell it was like dragon-sized?
What was your Arcana roll?
No,
I
it's
didn't.
yeah.
Yeah, fairly large. Huge, massive, gigantic.
Okay, so probably not a snake that's
like
going to turn us to stone.
Oh, that's right. No, I thought that was down. Did we know that was the floor beneath us?
We
We
never
thought,
got told
it was, but we. Yeah.
Okay.
We got told it gets let loose. Around.
Well, in that case,
Snakes aren't good on stairs, so it's probably not a snake. Wait, snakes would be fine. Anyway.
Snakes, yeah. Hey,
Somebody Google snakes are going
It was the other cage, the one down.
Yeah,
okay.
that's what we were told. We didn't see any proof of that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, do we want to roll the dice and open the door?
Yep.
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
do it.
Are they both locked, the doors?
The one in front of you is less locked, so it's got a slighter lock.
Okay.
The door with the silence is very heavy metal.
Alright,
Okay.
so let's lock.
Do we want to knock first, or just
Yeah.
guns blazing? Because if there's a dragon on the other side and we just our way through, it's probably going to be like...
Yeah, so you knock, you're polite to the dragon.
Yeah.
You say, hello, sir, can I get you some tea?
It's an area
Yeah.
of silence. You won't be able to talk.
You say,
Should I...
Alright, should we knock on the dragon door and see what happens?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like
yeah. Should I speak first because I speak Draconic, or do you guys want to take lead?
You go first.
You speak first.
Okay. Yeah, I know.
Here, take the mayonnaise.
We bring you gifts. Yeah. Knock on the door.
It's
Silence.
silent on the other side.
Oh.
Okay.
Is it unlocked?
No.
no.
Should we try knocking on the other door?
Sounds good to me.
Silence.
Well, we know that there's a dragon on the other side of this one.
I'm all out of ideas.
Is the other door locked?
Both of them are
Oh,
locked.
yeah, that's
the
right.
metal
So
door is a lot heavier.
does anyone have any kind of thing to do anything to these locks? A
Well.
light hammer and a forehead.
You hear footfalls outside the door that's not heavy. It sounds like a patrol.
Oh, we're at the top of a staircase. Oh boy, I stand behind the door.
I fly above the door.
I take a few steps back.
Yeah, I do as well.
Cool. Yeah,
I
you
try
hear
to make sure no one's standing on the stairs.
Yeah. Like I wait from like the.
Right.
Wait, hold on. Okay, yeah.
So you hear footfalls.
I want to make
approach.
sure they can see me though if they open the door.
Oh, nice.
You just overhear a couple of words. We hope to be the ones to kill them. And they footfall away.
I knock on the door.
Yeah.
They stop. What was that?
I cough.
Intruders!
And they run to the door in front of you, two berserkers once more.
It's us!
Good job! Quick, they've gone down the stairs. Or should we try to get them to open the other door?
Yeah.
I've already.
Yeah, I think I think I know where you're going with this.
I think. Oh yeah, well yeah.
I
You
ready action as soon as one comes through to throw him down the stairs.
Go for it. Roll strength.
Cool. Can I athletics and
Yes.
go for it?
Yes.
Excellent. That's what I love to do.
Who the...
27.
Okay. Oh, hell. Oh, and before he finishes, once more, there's just the sweeping kick to the back of the leg. His legs go up in the air, and he lands crack on his spine. Poof, and then... Oh.
I'm still alive.
I'm very badly hurt. I think my leg is broken. I'll try and use it. Ah! No, it's definitely broken. The other one
Wrong
looks
one.
around,
Yeah, no.
and he turns, he's going to run.
Oh shit. That was my action.
I'm gonna try and like grapple him to stop him from running.
Dex save?
He makes a dex save, or I have to
No,
dex
you make a dex save. DC 18.
save? Nope, that's not gonna do it.
Even with guidance?
Yeah, not even.
Alright. Yeah, he's gone. He runs out, and he disappears around one of the corridors.
Oh,
You're now looking out into a room, well, essentially right across from you. You see what looks like a stone archway with just heavy black steel covering it. To the left, now that the door is open, you can see a hallway once more that then turns that way. On this side, you've got a door just around the corner. You can kind of just see that as well. Essentially, you're looking down hallways that go either way and into.
God damn hallways. Who designed this building?
Thanks, Jeffrey.
A genius.
Do you want to go down the corridor or try the other door?
Do you want to go down the corridor or probably the other corridor?
I think we should reunite our new friend with our other new friend down the stairs.
Good idea.
Afternoon.
That's a good idea.
Right, roll some athletics. See if we can keep up.
Oh, baby.
You probably can.
16.
Okay, he rolled a 2.
Oh,
So essentially the entire
he?
party gets.
I rolled a 3.
Right.
Nice.
So bizarrely, as he's running as fast as he can, is not that fast, and the party completely catches up with him. I assume surrounds him, and he just kind of stops.
Hi.
Greetings.
Why don't you grab out that light hammer of yours?
I normally save this for small animals, but you'll do. Good. We have a couple of questions. So, have you alerted anyone else of our presence here? Very good. You're good at this, aren't you? Now, which way is Nemesis?
Which way are the stairs?
Oh, so he's sorry. I suppose that means nothing really if you don't know what he is.
Yeah.
Essentially, he's run to the left outside the room. The stairs are here. He's run down this corridor. He's pointing further up that corridor.
So he's gonna take us to the right.
And very good. And the other door by the stairs, is that a dragon? And is it friendly to Nemesis alone? Does it like Nemesis? It likes him.
Would it like us? Well, you don't know that. I speak Draconic.
Why is there silence in that area?
Oh, it's like 5 different.
Head nods
doors.
only, please.
One is like, yeah.
He hasn't even heard a single word we're saying. It's just
he doesn't speak common.
He has to do an interpretive dance.
One nod for the dragon is too loud. 2 nods for.
The corridor has at least 5 doors. All heavy metal. No
and
way through.
the nature of these berserkers. They wouldn't be captives. They are reanimated.
You can see it kind of has a thought, and then it.
Oh no, I was asking you.
Oh right,
Yeah,
yeah,
sorry.
they were people that got brought here and tortured until they were just raged.
No,
They're
okay,
not
well
dead
then-
though, are they?
No.
No.
So hypothetically, we could get him.
It's more like mind broken.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want to get out of here?
You want to go?
Yeah.
You want to go get a drink? You know. Just.
Yeah, gotta get out of here.
I mean,
Yeah,
you
what's
get
up?
off.
Want to wander down the water front?
Sorry, I just that instantly came to
No,
my
it's
head,
good,
and I
it's
was
good.
like,
Yeah.
So if we went to go, would you?
Okay.
Yeah.
"Are there any free rooms
Persuasion.
around?"
Roll persuasion. Roll persuasion.
Okay.
That's cocked.
Can you speak thieves' code?
Modify 20. Insight.
Okay.
+2.
He's telling the truth. He knows that you guys are gonna kill him. He knows that if he helps you, Nemesis is gonna kill him. But Nemesis was the one that essentially broke his mind, even though he's kind of loyal in a sense. He still has some remnants of who he once was. Certainly would like the opportunity to at least die in fighting for something that means something.
You're a good sort. Do you remember where you came from?
Oh. Red rum. Lovely.
Well, I've got some good news for you.
It's looking great this time of year.
All your family is still alive.
I can't wait to see you again.
It's booming. It's literally booming.
Wow. Did you have a family back then?
I think so. It's hard to recall. He beat that out of me quite efficiently.
We can get you back there. What's your name? Sorry, Oliver.
Joran.
What name haven't I used yet?
Yeah. I put ticks next to them, but I don't forget. Anyway. Joran. I think that's right. There's a lot of burning. And the word kill. It became difficult to think of anything else. Just kill. Kill them. Kill them.
If we,
Kill them.
No.
No. Nemesis.
You can do that calm emotions thing.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea actually.
Kill. Kill is the word. I remember the trigger word.
No. You remember red rum. What's
Yeah,
rum banquet? No.
I'm going to cast Calm Emotions on this dude.
Okay.
Give me a sec, and let me bring up what that spell is.
It's difficult to tell.
Who named you? Your father? Your mother? Your
my
grandfather?
mother. Maiden. Taylor. She used to take me for rides on the cart.
Where did you go?
No, we went to go into the forest. We had a game, sing the songbird song. We used to see if we could recreate the sounds. Kill them of the whistles.
So I'll cast Calm Emotion.
Yeah.
And so he needs to make a Charisma saving throw, or he can choose to not do it if he doesn't want to resist it.
Cool. He doesn't resist it.
So basically, I can suppress any effect causing the target to be charmed or frightened.
Yeah.
Or I can make him indifferent about tricks of choice. So I assume that would be the one we'll go, or charmed or frightened.
And he just kind of. The memories are helping. Being back there is helping. He remembers how he saw the world. It was a simpler time. It was the eyes of a child. He remembers that. He remembers playing in the backyards. It was simpler, but that made more sense. He remembers that. Yeah, the other stuff doesn't matter. Nothing else matters. He remembers who he is. He remembers his life, and he looks around. I'm back. Thank you.
That's alright. Jerome, we're here to help the people in here. We've already freed quite a number.
Well, he knows you're here.
Of course.
He's waiting for you in the arena.
The arena?
That's what he calls it.
On the second floor?
There's only 2 floors.
Okay.
Why did I have it in my head that there was 3?
Because the butler said he was on the
guy
third
that
floor.
led you
Right.
into the trap.
Well, yeah.
Bastard.
Yeah, we trusted the...
well, it's your lucky day, Jeremy.
Jerome.
Alright, well,
I was joking.
No,
shall we? Do we have anything else we want to do? Or should we...
something else.
Are you
Jerome.
going to be alright if do you still want to come in with us? You don't have
He
to.
has to be stopped. I'll fight with you.
Are you going to be okay once we get in there? He doesn't have some kind of control of you.
His charms have been less effective as of late. The hold on me was easier because of the torture. But now, I feel like I can fight.
Okay. Is he looking wounded, by the way?
No. The torture was a while ago.
Okay.
He's been doing his job.
Have you been into the arena?
Yes.
Is there anything we should know about? Any traps? Any secret passages? Anything where places anything can come out of?
Yes. You'll see slots in the walls. Saw blades.
At about this height and neck height?
Yes. Oh, no, sorry. Along the floor. One side of the room to the other.
Oh, that's nasty.
That's the only thing I know. I've only been in there once or twice.
But you know how to get that. You could lead us to it.
I could even get you through the door.
Can you, once we get in there, and if you're willing to fight, can you point out these traps to us?
I can try, yes.
So be it.
He may
Hopefully
not.
we all get out of here alive.
Welcome, Jerome, and I'll shake his hand.
He does. Shakes it back. Normalcy has returned. He feels quite good.
I'm just going to ask him real quick. There's no way for the dragon to get into the arena, is there?
Oh, no. The cage took a long time to construct. You may know Nemesis was seemingly, at the time, the only one who could hold dominion over such a creature. It was that led him to nearly take the world. And certainly others would turn and offer themselves to a force that could exert such power over such an animal. Although 5,000 years ago, in the age of violence, it was a living dragon. This one is a creature of bone.
Is Nemesis himself an undead? Or?
I'm not sure. He has many different energies. I hope that some of those who he had dominion over, the other lords, they give him power. Without them, he's weakened.
He's not immune to fire, is he? just double checking.
As far as I know, he's capable of taking fire damage.
That's good news. That's very good news.
You'll be
I mean,
pleased to
he's a
know
dragon
that
rider, though, so
many of the other
good
Lords of Violence have
Who
been
knows?
killed,
Who
and
knows?
we believe
Dragon
only
type as well.
one remains.
When you only take
That's-
like a single.
That's better than fighting him at full strength.
Demonstrate.
Just know there may be other creatures in there as well.
Okay.
The snake, the one that if you stare at.
Oh, no, he keeps that on the lower level. Just for the fear. Again, his persuasion, beasts, monsters, men, you can take what he needs.
Just in case, for each member of the party, I'm gonna pull out a gold coin and shine it so that you can see the reflection in it. I don't know where I've seen this before, but I'm sure it'll be helpful.
Nice.
And so you can see the reflection through the coin.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So just in case.
Nice. These creatures that he has in there, before we go in, does he control them in a magical way? Does he speak to them? What does he do? Does he just capture them like wild animals and just...
No, one of the lords, the Ice Lord, has... his power came from his ability to convince a beast or man that he is what they should be fighting for. Nemesis himself draws on this power. It's that allows him to convince anything, almost, to fight for him. The creatures he doesn't need to exert arcane over. They believe that he is the true leader of this world and any other realms which he may make his way through as well.
We may be able to contest that. If only we had our druid friend with us as well. Anyway, we do not. Lead us on.
Okay. Whew. And he leads you up down a couple of corridors. He kind of points out some of the rooms as he goes. He whispers that in one of these rooms, a couple of captured chain devils are crafting weapons. Further from that, we have a bunch of dark priests who are trying to, through the powers of the arcane, hack whispering stones and scrying tools. Essentially listen in on any kind of communications and stuff. He eventually leads you to the end of this hallway where he points out a chamber that is wreathed in fire, flame, and full of beasts and such. On the other side, the chamber of ice that contains with it dark creatures of cold and frost and necrotic energies and such. Eventually, he leads you to the door. The heavy golden door.
Duran, these creatures that you just designated for us, do they enter from these regions?
There's grates inside the arena that can be lifted.
And they connect to those? So if we could shut off those rooms, we could stop them from entering.
Yes.
Is there any way to do so?
And he kind of looks at the door. Only through the arena.
We could open the grates on this side and then run through the door.
So the walls themselves have no doors. Inside the arena, that's where the doors are.
Oh, okay.
Right.
So, does he know that if any of these speak any form of language, or if they're just beasts?
Oh no, they're mostly intelligent beasts
okay.
that can understand certain things.
Okay.
Essentially, as he kind of stops at the door, you can see him trying to build some kind of constitution, some kind of will to continue. I mean, he's faced with the heresy of defying his master, but also with the sense of doing something for good, for the energies that align to stop the world from being taken by these things. You see, the door handle itself is right in the center of the door, and around it is this metal face with these jagged teeth. And he kind of puts his hand and you just see a flash of resolve, and he looks around. He actually feels safe with you guys. He feels like he could win this one. He turns the doorknob, and as he does, the hand clamps down upon him. Ugh! He wrenches it free, and blood drips from the mouth of this metal face on the door. But as he does, seemingly payment has been made, and the metal face just kind of cracks in a big grin right along the sides of the face, and the door opens from the center. And this plume of smoke comes out of the room that is acrid, and you guys cough and splutter. As that clears, you see directly in front of you, on the other side of the room, stepping down from a grand throne made of dragon bone, this old, wizened mage with a long white beard and this horrible, curved black scythe. And as he steps forward, the scythe emanates this purple energy. The room itself is a flash of heat, and the temperature shifts to both extremes within instants. And he just kind of smiles and reaches out. He sees one of his minions who now draws his sword and strides into the room, and that is where we're going to leave tonight's session. We will be back for the grand battle against Nemesis, the Dragon Rider, King of the Lords of Violence, contested by the will of the Black Winter Knights. Will they be victorious, or be trapped as skeletons within a prime material pocket dimension for all time? Next week we find out. Thank you guys so much for joining us on this journey on the D20 Multiverse. It's been my absolute pleasure bringing these games to you.
It's Thanksgiving.
And it's Thanksgiving, so thanks give to you, lovely people. Who are wonderful.
What is Thanksgiving, Ollie?
Where we give thanks.
Exactly. Thank you. All that. Yeah.
I wanted to go on a weird story.
Thank you guys for watching. Leonard, thank you again for your very kind donation. We really do appreciate that. We should be able to get the camera and the mic hopefully soon with that donation. That was very, very kind. Thank you so much. Thanks to our new followers and everyone that was out there in chat watching us go. You know, we just do this for fun. It's really cool that you guys like to tune in.
Not to be a dick, but thanks, Dave.
Yeah, thanks, Dave, for coming in halfway to.
How's that being a dick?
I don't know. Interrupting Ollie to be like, you know what?
I kind
Dave
of
doesn't get enough credit.
I kind of feel offended that you kind of thought it may be offensive to thank me.
Well, I didn't want to
Oh no, it was no offense to Ollie.
Yeah.
Thanks, Dave.
I have a new appreciation for what you do before the stream, because I screwed up the cameras like 8 times in a row, had to go through delete them.
And you didn't even do any of the Photoshop stuff as well.
Yeah, exactly,
Yeah,
exactly, which is just madness. Thank you, Dave, we love you.
And thanks, Ollie, as well, for being a great team.
Yeah, what an awesome session today.
Yeah.
That was nice.
I've had a lot of fun.
Such a tease. You've had this all week.
It's quite funny because this game is all about the plot and stuff, and our game is just fucking with Ollie.
Pretty much. If you want to watch the other game where Dave, the producer and tech guy, plays Stefan the Ranger, then that's Eyes of Elisia on the same channel. We live stream that on what is Sunday afternoon for us here in New Zealand, but obviously different times.
I won't be here this week. But
Dave will not be here this week, and I'm left in charge of trying to do the tech, and oh dear God. But
without these guys' help.
yeah, without their help.
Yeah.
Anyway, that is us for this evening. Thank you for joining us wherever you are in the world. We really do appreciate it here on the D20 Multiverse. We're nerds of power.
That's currency.
I'll trade you 2 nerds.
Thank you guys so much. We will see you same time next week for the Nemesis battle, the King of the Lords of Violence. Thanks for joining us. Oh, and check out the new podcast, which is starting in a couple of weeks. It is called D20 After Hours.
What are you on about? It starts this Saturday.
It starts this Saturday. Alex might
This
be
is why you're supposed to... I gave
This
you
is
the
why you-
notebook!
this is why you're right,
I
yeah.
gave you a notebook!
I don't know where it's gone though. I had the note. Oh, it's over here, so it's not on my table. That's the problem. D20 After Hours is our new podcast, which is coming out this Saturday for us, Saturday for America, Friday. And essentially, it's people from the D20 Multiverse shooting the shit and talking the breeze, or yeah, fuck it. So it's just us. It's going to be a live stream podcast of us talking about D&D and life and other things and just wonderful stuff. And then that'll go up on YouTube later on. So D20 After Hours, the new show here on D20 Multiverse. Thank you guys, honestly, so much for your support. And same time next week, let's see if these guys can fight Nemesis the Dragon Rider, because I sure as hell had fun designing him.
This sounds like a challenge.
It's the toughest thing I've created ever. So
He says that with every boss.
it's because I keep doing it every time you defeat one. I create a harder one.
It's like we nearly died. Another boss.
The thing is, with us, he'll say that, but with you guys, it's like, oh, you just finished a boss? Here's another encounter. This is the toughest
Oh, you haven't
encounter.
rest? Bang, 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 you're on the
I
ground.
did that like once. Anyway, yeah. Join us same time next week. Thanks for joining us. Oliver Dungeon Master, Black Winter Knights. Love you guys. Thank you.